Welcome everybody to Winston-Salem, North Carolina. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. And these two ACC foes are meeting in non-conference play. The first meeting between Wake Forest and North Carolina in 4 years. And these longtime rivals have had some very exciting finishes to undefeated records.
And it's 4th and game. Newman to throw it. Hinton high points it, comes down with it, and gives Wake Forest the lead.
Taking a shot to the end zone. Climbing the ladder, Bo Corrales for the touchdown. The game is now going to belong to the Tar Heels. Mac Brown can officially celebrate a win.
These guys have had a tough time, and we worked really hard. A great win for those kids, our coaching staff, and these fans, because they've waited for this a long time.
The true freshman quarterback, Sam Howell. He's looking for the end zone. Firing! Touchdown, North Carolina! North Carolina wins it in a thriller. Mac is certainly back.
I am here with North Carolina head coach Mac Brown. And coach, what a start to the season, but for the 3rd straight week, you're the underdog heading into a game. What is your message?
Molly, the message was, let's be us. We can't control how Wake Forest plays. We can't control the environment, short week, all that stuff. Football's very simple. People are very complicated. So let's simplify our lives. You do your job.
What do you need to do against their size at receiver?
Those two receivers are really good. We got short guys, got to play tall. But we're going to change up some coverage. We're going to try to get in their face and give them different looks.
All right, thank you, Coach. Adam.
Patrice Renee, their cornerback, their tallest corner, is out tonight, Molly. So a lot of size at wide receiver for Dave Clawson and Wake Forest. They're off to a 2-0 start on a 4-game win streak going back to the end of last season. Two programs meeting in a non-conference game, a rare occurrence. But of course, with the conference realignment over the course of the last decade plus, these two teams have now been separated into different divisions. That's why they decided to fill out their Power 5 slots with this non-conference in-state rivalry showdown. Wake won the toss and deferred, and North Carolina will receive. Michael Carter is back to return this Nick Skiba kick. And a touchback, and out to the 25-yard line will come North Carolina. Adam Amin, Matt Hasselbeck, Pat McAfee up here in the booth. And Matt, I know you're very excited about these quarterbacks. Relatively inexperienced, but man, they have been impressive so far.
That's right, Adam, and they're very different stylistically, but where they're similar is that clutch gene. You're talking about quarterbacks, you want them to play great in the 4th quarter. Well, we've got 2 undefeated teams because of these quarterbacks in the 4th quarter play.
And undefeated teams, a perfect time to showcase your program. Friday night, national television here on ESPN. Coach Clawson, Coach Brown, both excited to where the programs are. Tonight, I think we have a good one ahead of us.
Sam Howell and Jamie Newman, the 2 QBs that Matt was referring to. Sam Howell and the Tar Heels go to work first. Michael Carter gets chopped down in the open field by Nasir Greer. Sam Howell with a couple of 4th quarter comeback wins in his true freshman season, Matt.
That's right, and listen, this is a freshman that hasn't played a lot of football, obviously, but you would never know it. The ball's been in his hands in the 4th quarter, and he hasn't just happened to be on the winning team. He's been the reason that they've been winning games.
Out of Indian Trail, North Carolina. Under pressure early, and he'll get wrapped up back at the 25-yard line. Pressure came in from Dion Bergen and Rondell Bothroyd. Early 3rd down and long scenario for North Carolina.
Sam Howell comes from a football coaching family. They say he's always even keeled. 3rd and long here early. Let's see what the kids got.
Howell backpedaling. He finds his target in Daz Newsome, but excellent work to run him down by Justin Strnad, the top tackler for Wake Forest's defense.
Well, Strnad's a great player. He's going to be all over the field. You know, just about every person we talked about mentioned Justin Strnad, but for Wake Forest defensively, they showed a blitz look and bailed out of it. I think they're going to give the young freshman a lot of things to think about tonight.
And now we get a look at the Irish punter from Dublin, Ben Kiernan.
Love this guy. His numbers aren't great because Coach Brown told him to kick the ball out of bounds. They're going to let him bang away tonight. See if he can get those numbers up a little bit.
Punting away to Sage Surratt. And out of bounds it does go. Wake Forest will have decent field position to start this night. So Jamie Newman, Matt, you saw his first career start. It was a comeback win against NC State, and he's done it 2 more times since.
Like I said, he's got the clutch gene. This guy came out of nowhere last year with the huge upset on the road, and that's what he's been doing. 4th quarter heroics. He's done it as a runner. He's done it as a thrower. And I'll say this team believes in him as their starting quarterback. He's a weapon. He's a big guy. 235 pounds. I wouldn't want to tackle him.
Me neither.
Kind of riding that read, and he'll take it himself, using that big body to the 48-yard line.
North Carolina's D coordinator yesterday said they have to have gap discipline, especially with the RPO ball maneuvering by Jamie Newman.
Jay Bateman is the defensive coordinator from North Carolina. He was at Army the last 5 years, so he knows option football very well. Christian Beal-Smith powering ahead, pushing the pile for a first down to the North Carolina 44.
You gotta like the start for Wake Forest. This is sort of an undersized offensive line. Not one of these guys even weighs 300 pounds, and yet they're pushing this pile out the gate.
They are not scared to use tempo to their advantage as well.
That very long zone read, but Miles Dorn comes up from the safety spot to put Jamie Newman down.
Matt, that long zone read, you got to really be confident and work on that. They said they work on it every single day. That could become something that's confusing. Seems like Jamie's got it down.
It's very unusual. Unless you watch a lot of Wake Forest football, you don't see many people do this.
Another design run for Jamie Newman. Finds a hole, and he'll set up a 3rd down and short. Important matchup tonight on this side of the football. The Surratt brothers with their mom Brandy in attendance tonight. Younger brother Sage by a year, older brother Chaz by a year. Jay Bateman said, I'm going to let Chaz get a shot at his brother tonight.
Well, that's all well and good, but he's got to win this game too, and you win the game in a couple areas. 3rd down and red zone being one of them, but this is a big 3rd down early. Could be 2-down territory, but you know those brother matchups, we could see anything tonight.
Sage is in motion. He may line up directly against his brother this evening. Newman pushing ahead, and we'll have to check the forward progress here. The line to gain was the 34.
Carolina came with a corner blitz off of their sideline there. They saw Surratt come in that motion there. Trey Morrison, their best cover corner, came on the blitz. It's almost like they didn't even expect him to try to throw.
They will check this spot here. Pat, you were excited about that Surratt matchup for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, it's just not something you see on a regular basis, especially because usually brothers like the Hasselbeck brothers play the same position. These two are going to be lining up directly against each other. Everybody in here is excited for this game, except for Brandy Surratt. She's got to be so nervous that her babies are about to go head-to-head, but this is bragging rights forever. Good first down there for Sage and Jamie Newman and Wake, but I think that should be a fun matchup tonight.
Well, Jamie Newman on the run. He's kind of a workhorse, even though he's a quarterback. Kind of got a generous spot, but 21 carries versus Utah State. Mentioned he's 230, 235 pounds. He's a quarterback, but he's a big one.
I watched a football game last night where a ref just picked the ball up and moved it up a yard.
It's not a science.
I was like, that didn't seem right. Newman to throw it. Out of the backfield, Christian Beal-Smith makes a man miss.
Flag.
And there is a penalty marker thrown for the first time.
Said they wanted to get his confidence up, too. One of those little bubble balls is something you can pick up for Jamie Newman.
You see Alan Cater down on the deck, the senior from
Illegal block
Georgia,
in
the
the back.
linebacker.
Offense, number 86. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Jeff Heiser, part of this ACC crew. They're going to check up on Alan Cater. We're going to step aside 4 minutes into this game, opening Wake Forest drive.
Back here in Winston-Salem, and arguably North Carolina's best defensive player, Jason Strobridge, is not expected to play in this one. Mac Brown told me he is out with a sore left ankle, Adam.
Wow, that's a big one, Molly. Jason Strobridge, you talked to all the NFL scouts here tonight. This is the guy that they mentioned. 13 NFL teams here, every single one of them mentioned that guy. He's a player against the run and the pass.
That's a massive loss for North Carolina.
A professional mentality. That's what the coaches talked about with Strobridge, arguably the best player on the roster. After the holding penalty against Wake Forest, it's first down and long. And Christian Beal-Smith gets run down by Miles Wolfuk, one of the great safeties in this defensive backfield for North Carolina.
You can't stress it enough. The unorthodox length of the handoff is just trying to bait the North Carolina defense into losing gap discipline so they can take advantage.
Newman on the slant finds Scotty Washington, the big 6'5" target. It'll be third down and long. Guys, this was one of the fastest offenses in all of college football last year. They're averaging better than 83 plays a game so far this year.
Which is absolutely remarkable. I mean, in the NFL, the average game will be about 63 plays. These guys are up over 90 plays a game.
Taking a shot for Scotty Washington, incomplete.
Contested balls is something that the Wake Forest offense thrives off of. They're not scared to take a shot like that. North Carolina knew it was coming, and Wake Forest was potentially waiting for it.
And Pat, we talked about it. Patrice Renee, one of the best cornerbacks for North Carolina, is out. He was their tallest corner at 6'2". There's a ton of receiver size on the outside.
And they've been taking advantage of the first couple weeks. Scotty Washington had a game winner, was the ACC wide receiver of the week. Not easy to do in the ACC. A lot of great players here.
Wide receiver of the whole week, Pat, the whole week.
The whole week.
Not a day.
That's 7 days, guys.
Italian stallion Maggio into punt.
Tom Maggio from Moncton, Maryland. I just wanted to say that because that's fun to say. Excellent ball, but it's going to bound into the end zone.
What are we doing?
Out to the 20-yard line. Mack Brown, his first head coaching job at Appalachian State in 1983. They'll take on App State next week. Took over at Tulane. An excellent career going to North Carolina in one stint. Had 69 wins. Nice the first time around. Won a national championship at Texas. Was in the booth with us and in the studio for 5 years, but named North Carolina head coach in late November last year, a few days before he was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. Now at 68 years of age, has a chance to tie Dick Crum for the most wins as a North Carolina head coach. His team's 2-0. And his freshman quarterback delivers outside to Daz Newsome. And a good gain out near the 30-yard line.
I never understood why everybody loved Coach Mack Brown. Everybody loves him that talks about him. And then we got a chance to talk to him yesterday, and him talking about his trip back to North Carolina and his wife Sally saying, hey, you got that gleam in your eye. You need to get back in there, refreshed, rejuvenated. And he turned his program around quick with trust from the players.
Handoff to Michael Carter. Excellent penetration by Ryan Smenda Jr., the inside linebacker. Third down.
Place is starting to come alive a little bit too, Adam.
6 o'clock start, a little bit late arriving, and now you're starting to feel a little juice in the building. Howell whips it outside, and it's broken up by Amari Henderson. Stepped in front of De'Ami Brown.
What a play.
Well, Amari Henderson recognizes the hitch route. Sam Howell looks there quick. Tries to anticipate. That is just a great break on the ball by the DB. However, I would not be surprised to see a double move later in this first half.
He did jump on that quick. You got to remember, he's 18 years old, Sam Howell. So sometimes he's going to stare down where he's going, make his decision before the snap. We'll see how he grows through the game.
Another punt for Ben Kiernan, born in Dublin, grew up playing rugby. He'll deliver a right footer this time, and a boomer.
He needed this too.
Flips the field as Sage Surratt will step out of bounds past the 25-yard line. Scoreless so far after a 56-yard Kiernan punt. We're coming back after this.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by Allstate and the Allstate AFCA Good Works team, recognizing athletes for their charitable work. Visit ESPN.com/Allstate to learn more.
The ribbon cutting for the Sutton Sports Performance Center and Shop Basketball Complex. 4 levels, 87,000 square foot. Impressive new facility here on campus in Winston-Salem at Wake Forest. Dave Clawson was very excited about having better facilities as the arms race in this ACC continues. Clemson pacing everybody, it feels like right now. Everybody's trying to catch up.
Yeah, guys, but I'll tell you, I've never been down here to Wake Forest. The facilities here are gorgeous.
Yeah.
Really, really nice, brand new. Impressive.
We were there the day before the ribbon cutting. Technically, we're the first people in there.
I think you're right, man.
Gorgeous.
What a tackle by Raymond Bohasic, coming out of the College of DuPage, making the stop.
Well, Wake Forest tries to go lateral here. It's very important to set that edge. Tamon Fox setting the edge allows his guys up front to make the play.
Knocked down Christian Beal-Smith. Now Kenneth Walker, the true freshman, is in the slot. Newman under pressure. Little comeback route, incomplete off the fingertips of Walker. And that'll bring up third down.
Kenneth Walker, 96-yard touchdown run just a week ago. Said they like him a lot. A little bit worried about blitz pickup and stuff like that, but he knows he can make plays for him.
And Cade Carney did not play with a leg injury last week. That's why Walker got some more play. Carney was questionable tonight.
Not a lot of freshmen playing for Wake Forest.
No. They were a veteran lineup for the most part across the board.
The loss of Carney for Wake Forest is similar to the loss of Strobridge for North Carolina. Carney is a leader in every way. They call him a warrior.
Newman, deep shot, got a man, and Sage Surratt could not hold on. Miles Dorn on the coverage, and it brings up fourth down.
What a nice throw. We talked about the hands of Wake Forest, contested throws. They love this inside fade. This is the fade, the go ball you usually see by the outside receiver. They get the inside slot receiver on a safety. Great throw. You don't see Surratt drop many. That's one I would expect him to have, and I think Jamie Newman will come back to him later tonight.
Dom Maggio boots one away. Another good kick. No return available. Well, you just saw Sage Surratt. He and his brother, Chaz, who is 1 year older, grew up in North Carolina, played for the cool Oak Steelers in 2005. They were basketball players for East Lincoln High School together. Then they played football together, won the 2014 state championship on this field. Chase was the quarterback for Sage. Chaz, beg your pardon, came to this University of North Carolina as a QB, moved to linebacker, and they're playing against each other tonight. And Molly McGrath is in the stands right now with arguably the two most nervous people in this building. Right now it's Chaz and Sage's parents, Kevin and Brandy. Molly?
That's right, Adam. I'm here with Brandy and Kevin Surratt. Sage was just targeted. What did you think of that play?
So close. That was so close. So close. Should have called it.
So what is it like to see your boys on the field going up against each other in the college game?
I mean, it's interesting because usually they're both in the same uniform. That's what we're used to, but I don't know, it's different. It's a lot different.
So how did you guys decide who would wear what tonight?
Because it's a Wake Forest home game, I felt like I should wear Sage's jersey. That's typically what I do at Wake Forest home games.
And what about you?
Well, then if she wears Wake, then I have to wear Carolina, right? I mean, that's pretty simple.
Growing up, who was the most competitive of your kids?
Chaz. Chaz. I'll answer that. Chaz.
Do you have any examples?
Sage is sneaky competitive, though. He's a sniper.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Sage is a sniper. He's not going to tell you he's coming, but then you're out. He's got you. But Chaz wears it on his face a little bit more.
He's a sniper. All right, we'll see who comes out on top. Thank you so much for your time, and best of luck to both of your boys.
All right, thank you.
Adam.
Chaz is older by a year. Sage is the baby, being 1 year younger. The two compete at everything, mini golf, basketball. First time playing on the same field together since they played at East Lincoln. And this may be the last time they ever take the same field against one another. Bragging rights are on the line. Third down and long here for North Carolina. They'll swing it out. Good catch nearly by Rontavious Groves, but he's unable to move upfield. A 3 and out for the Tar Heel offense.
I think Chaz's competitiveness lends well to him being quarterback last year, middle linebacker this year. Joe Montana type situation. He said it took him about a week to get used to the hitting, but he absolutely loves the opportunity to be on the defense. Excited to see those two get going. I mean, it's 4th and 45 right now, basically, for the Irish kid. Hopefully he hits another bomb here for UNC. Sage is back to return the punt. Let's What a wild scene. I don't have any kids, but I could imagine I'd be scared.
Surratt
with the
muffed the punt. And he's able to recover it back near the 32-yard line.
I think he might have heard footsteps because Chaz is on the punt team, too.
Very cool to see. Sage, Chaz, and both their parents in attendance tonight. Iowa, the site, it is the third most expensive ticket in the entire state in any event in the last 5 years. Iowa and Iowa State, our game day gang will be there starting tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Christian Beal-Smith takes it to the 35-yard line, running into Zach Gill, who's taking the spot of the injured Jason Strobridge tonight.
Iowa State, they hate each other.
Hashtag analyst. Love it. It's going to be awesome. They'll get game days there for the first time. Whoa, into traffic. Jamie Newman finds Surratt, and he muscles ahead for a first down. How did he pick that up?
Well, you're talking about a contested throw. That's a throw kind of laid over the middle in traffic. That's a courageous job by Surratt going through the middle there. The umpire almost gets in the way.
That's everything Wake Forest's offense is, by the way. The delayed RPO, the contested ball, the perfect accuracy by Newman.
Whoa, Scotty Washington going up top, unable to hold on to it. Now, Scotty Washington has had a few drops in the first couple of weeks. That one's tough because it's a high ball, but it's just something to note.
I'm not going to give him that one. I think Pat jinxed him there.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Scotty Washington's every bit of 6'5". That ball was way up over his head. Jamie Newman has been very accurate so far this season. That was one of the questions about him last season.
74% completion rate in the first 2 games.
That was intriguing there. He always delayed on it, and then he pushed the running back through the hole. He's like, hey, you got it. Go and get it. Because they delay so long.
You know, Pat, you know what it reminded me of? People do this to me at wedding receptions sometimes. There's like a circle, and people are dancing, and they go, you get out there.
and honestly, nobody wants to see that, ever. 3rd down and 8. Good blitz pickup. And Newman was hoping that Jack Frudenthal would go deep. Ended up being incomplete.
The old zigzag situation, Hasselbeck. What is that normally? That's just a complete miscommunication there from the sideline?
No, so what that is a lot of times as a wide receiver, you'll have a route, and that is your route. There it looked like some sort of stop route, a curl route, a pivot route. However, if the defender is within 5 yards of the receiver, it changes the route to a deep route.
Got it.
And that sometimes there's a miscommunication.
Option routes, are those typically what?
No.
Okay, those are different, right?
The opposite of an option.
Okay,
actually.
gotcha.
But
Don't be stupid, Adam.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, boy.
Happy to be here.
That ball seemed like it might get flip.
Well, good punt, though, inside the 10.
Oh, let's go. This is beautiful. Are you kidding me?
Beautifully done by Don Maggio. Montavious Groves bailed out, and Maggio pins him inside the 5.
Swag out a little bit, Maggio. Swag out.
Well, we told you this is a non-conference game. The last time that 2 conference opponents played a non-conference game was when Cal and Colorado met back in 2011. Cal would win this game in overtime. Keenan Allen caught the game-winning touchdown pass, a 36-33 win. That was because Colorado had agreed to join the Pac-12, but the game had already been scheduled when Colorado was in the Big 12. So this is a very rare occurrence. But this is a long-time rivalry finally being played again. And Sam Howell's got a long way to go, and he'll get back to the line of scrimmage.
And Adam, Dave Clawson mentioned that he wants this rivalry to live. He wants this matchup to stay on the schedule. He says, listen, it makes way too much sense for Wake Forest to play North Carolina. Like, what do we do? We're doing something wrong if these 2 teams don't get to play each other more.
Right.
They played for 85 years straight before this 4-year hiatus. Big win for either team that didn't get here. Pop one off.
Javonte Williams lost the football and is loose at the 20. And it may have been picked up by Wake Forest. Nasir Greer punched it out, and the Demon Deacons have it.
This is why field position matters, Matt Hasselbeck. Get the pin. Seems like it's going the other way. Ball comes out. All of a sudden, Wake Forest is in a beautiful position to get the first points of the night.
This is a huge momentum swing. North Carolina looks like they're busting one free. And Nasir Greer with a huge stick. What do they say? Got to touch the ball. These defenders in practice, they say every single chance you get, touch the ball. And Luke Masterson, Nasir Greer, a team effort on defense. They get the ball back for this offense.
They have an entire point system in practice if they touch the ball before or after the play. It's graded. It's a very important thing for every team, but in specific, Wake Forest here, they keep track of everything.
There goes Kenneth Walker. First down and goal, Wake Forest.
And a lot of times after a turnover, you expect them to take a shot. We had soft defense by the safeties and allowed that run to be successful.
Riding the read, Newman keeps, and Newman is in. Touchdown, Wake Forest. Demon Deacons on the board first.
It becomes almost like a power whenever they hold on to it that long. Jamie Newman almost had the running back leading the way through the hole there for the first points of the board here in Winston-Salem. What a turn of events, Matt.
Well, we mentioned what a threat he is in the red zone. Jamie Newman, not only as a thrower, but mostly as a runner. You said it, Pat. He does a little dog walk celebration in the end zone. That is a huge, that was set up by the defense, and they answered on offense with the opportunity.
Set up by the punter. There's a kicker adding the 7 point. Mr. Nick Stuba, have a little respect.
You talked about it, the quick change. Nasir Greer, who did it against Notre Dame last year at a big forced fumble, set up great field position for Jamie Newman to bang home the touchdown. Demon Deacons up.
Well, we've heard of the turnover chain and the turnover thrown, but has anyone ever seen a turnover thermometer? Now, it's not on the sidelines, but in Wake Forest defensive meeting room, there's a thermometer graphic that charts the team takeaways. You can see leading into today, they had 4, and their team goal for the season is 25. Justin Surratt told me this new emphasis on turnovers has been intense, and you saw it right there with that Greer forced fumble, Adam.
Lyle Hemphill is the defensive coordinator for Wake Forest. They had 16 turnovers last year, already up to a much better start this season. Michael Carter on the return for North Carolina onto the 23-yard line. Lyle Hemphill took over as the defensive coordinator for Jay Sawbell, who was fired after 4 games last year. They'd given up 41 to BC, 56 to Notre Dame, and Lyle Hemphill was inserted into the DC role. And this defense really did improve as the season went on last year.
They really did, and he's the guy on the far right there, Lyle Hemphill. He's got this saying, it's the ball is the program. The ball is the program. That means that ball is ours. If you want this program to go where we're trying to get it to go, you got to get that ball back for our offense.
Now Sam Howell back to work. Wanted to take a shot, ran out of time. Carlos Basham, or as he's known,
Basham, Adam.
Great name.
And Adam, you mentioned they're trying to take a shot. Amari Henderson jumped that hitch route earlier in the game. They went to the slant and go, also known as a sluggo. They tried to take the shot. Amari Henderson, he must have been alerted on the sideline. He did not take the bait.
Yeah, handoff here for Javonte Williams. Nothing there as Suleiman Kamara makes the stop. This front for Wake Forest lighting it up a little bit, and a key matchup with Charlie Heck and Boogie Basham.
You're right, Charlie Heck's probably one of the best football players on the field tonight. We mentioned the 13 NFL teams, scouts here in attendance. These are the 2 guys they really came to see. Boogie Basham lined up against Charlie Heck. Charlie Heck, his father's the offensive line coach for the Kansas City Chiefs. He is a monster of a man and a great football player, good athlete.
Howell into traffic, nearly intercepted by Isang Bassi, and Bo Corrales basically had to become the defender there.
This Wake Forest defense has been stingy tonight. Just a couple years ago, Sam Howell could throw a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. I don't care how fast you can throw it, it's going to be tough to thread the needle there.
Well, I don't like this decision. This is the tight window that's really not even there. I don't think Patrick Mahomes could make that throw. And Patrick Mahomes can make just about every throw. So they're going to have to protect the football better than they have in this first quarter.
Well, Ben Kiernan with his 4th punt. This is the 4th 3-and-out for North Carolina, plus they had the fumble. No flag on the play.
Great
But
roll.
a great roll inside the 25-yard line for Ben Kiernan. True freshman from Dublin, grew up playing rugby, moved to Raleigh, North Carolina in 2014 and started paying attention to football and really loved North Carolina's campus. The reason his family came to the United States, and particularly the Research Triangle in North Carolina, his sister has cerebral palsy, and they could get better treatment in the great research area, the Research Triangle of North Carolina. He's a dual citizen of Ireland and the United States. A great story and a great young man. Mac Brown was very high on him.
2 brothers playing rugby at NC State. He's here at North Carolina. I think this is going to be home for the Kiernans for a long time, kind of finding his groove. No yard left behind on that bounce right there.
I like that. No yard left behind. Another deep shot looking for Surratt, and he pulls it in inside the North Carolina 40.
What a big-time catch here by the little brother, Sage Surratt. They said they're going to take shots. They don't care if he's covered. They're going to put it up. They've been doing it 3-4 times now. The first time that comes through, a 41-yard completion down the sideline for Newman.
Sage Surratt, he looked like he was a little nervous early. He had the fumble playing against Big Brother. Not nervous now, had the drop. That was a huge play. That is not going to be the last shot they take to him tonight. And they did it on their best cover corner playing tonight, Trey Morrison, number 4.
Surratt entered the game with 203 yards. Washington with 204 through the first 2 weeks. They were the 2 most productive receivers of any ACC team, of any ACC player. Kenneth Walker busted a 96-yarder last week, and he sets up Wake Forest in the red zone.
Discipline. Matty Hasselbeck. Gab, discipline.
Gab.
That's all the D coordinator said.
That's all he said. And you know, all we heard from Wake Forest is we like to redshirt and develop guys. We don't play a lot of true freshmen. Well, guess what? If you're a true freshman playing for Wake Forest, that means you're pretty good. That was a pretty good run there.
No edge.
By Kenneth Walker.
No chance.
Riding the read. Good block by Walker. And Jamie Newman is able to take it near the 6-yard line.
Ooh, a little pushing late there.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what's so impressive about Kenneth Walker. Not only did he have the lead block on the touchdown, but watch, they bring a corner blitz off the edge here. And instead of getting the ball, he says, you know what? You keep the ball. I'll make the block on Greg Ross, the corner coming off the edge. This is really impressive for a true freshman.
It's like a power offense there with Hernandez. It's incredible. 2 incredible runners in the backfield. It's going to be tough to stop all night for North Carolina. Excited to see the adjustments they make, Adam.
7-0 to start. Greer punched it loose. Newman punched it in. Demon Deacons with the first slug of the night. Yeah, that's a thing that's happening, and we are pumped for it. September 15th with Week 2, NFL Primetime on ESPN+. Sunday nights, you don't want to miss it. I hear the music, I get jacked up.
Hey, that's pretty cool. They call that the Chris Berman, Tom Jackson studio, where we do countdown every day. It's cool to have those guys back.
Whoop.
2nd and 3, Jamie Newman on the run. Can pick up the first down without the score, but he wants to score. Touchdown, Wake Forest. His 2nd of the night.
Refuses to be stopped. They said Cam Newton-like player. Cam Newton didn't play great last night, but when Cam Newton was humming, he was unstoppable, just like Jamie Newman there. That's pure grit, Matt Hasselbeck.
Well, you're not kidding. Listen, UNC was great in red zone defense. What's the difference tonight? We mentioned Strobridge is not out, running right on that right side of the line behind the Beef Boys. That's what the offensive line calls themselves. That is pure determination. This is an in-state rivalry, home game, national TV. Jamie Newman's got to be fired up with his 2nd touchdown run tonight.
Or was it?
They're going to take a look. We'll make sure he crossed the plane.
Or was it?
Jamie Newman started the last 4 games of the season in 2018 after Sam Hartman suffered a broken leg against Syracuse. Newman went 3-1, including the bowl game win over Memphis with that comeback victory. Won the job this year over Sam Hartman. Let's see, it looked like he broke the plane before any part of his body was down, at least on the initial look. Feels like this may stand.
The Beef Boys moving some bodies up there. That might be my favorite nickname for an entire group in the entire country, all leagues. The Wake Forest Beef Boys.
And guys, Chaz Surratt loses his helmet.
He'd have to come off for a play.
After further review,
of this potential
ruling
touchdown.
on the field stands.
Indeed, it stands, and it is a touchdown.
You know, when you review a touchdown like that, you give the fans an opportunity to celebrate twice. I'm all about celebrations. I don't mind it, but I thought that one was pretty obvious.
I thought you were going to double down on that celebration. You like that.
Now, Nick Skiba here, the kicker, I buried him on the internet last year.
Yeah, you did.
And he's an incredible kicker who just so happened to not show up for his first field goal attempt against Notre Dame.
What do you mean he didn't show up?
He literally didn't go on the field.
Like 10 guys on the field?
There were 10 guys on the field.
But he has bounced back in an incredible fashion.
It's not how you start, it's how you finish, Pat.
He's been red hot on field goal attempts. Well, my man, Matt Hasselbeck wants to talk a little bit about Sunday NFL Countdown, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Randy Moss has both Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry. Peyton Manning's got J.J. Watt. And don't forget, we'll talk about Steelers-Seahawks. Rematch of that Matt Hasselbeck Super Bowl before Browns and Jets.
Yeah. You didn't have to bring that up.
No. I definitely had to bring that up. Again, we told you Randy's got Odell and Jarvis. The Browns have the Jets. The Jets all have Mono, apparently. Monday Night Football on ESPN.
The best show on television right there. Sunday Countdown. If you get a magnifying glass out there, it says Monday Night Countdown right there.
Monday Night
fine print. Yep.
Down, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Jets, Browns, by the way, we're in the 50th year of Monday Night Football. The first Monday Night Football game was played between the Jets and the Browns back in 1970.
Fun facts, Adam.
The funnest of facts.
The New York Jets fans just can't catch a break. I had no idea anybody past 9th grade got mono. But here we are, Sam Darnold in a very dangerous situation with the mononucleosis.
Well, he's one of the younger quarterbacks in the league. I believe he's 23 years old, 21 years old.
22, I think.
You were there. Years old.
We're so close.
Prime mono age, I think is what it is. Yeah, prime mono age. How do you feel about that one, Pat?
That's not good for the brand, Pat.
That it is not, but Nick Skiba has been an incredible kicker. His sister told me to be nice to him today, but Nick Skiba can't be doing that. He knows that he's too good of a kicker to do that.
Procedure penalty will give good field position to North Carolina as we check in with Molly McGrath.
Well, Adam, left tackle Charlie Heck for UNC was in visible pain when medical training staff was heavily taping his right hand, and a couple people asked him if he was okay. He just shrugged. So this team playing banged up right now. Also, backup quarterback Jace Ruder is warming up on the sidelines.
That's good to know, too. Sam Howell continues to be ineffective as he has been so far. So Heck is banged up. Don't forget, Nick Polino, their normal center, got hurt last week against Miami. So Brian Anderson is making his 4th career start at center tonight.
Really haven't been able to do anything. Looking for something. Nice 4-yard gain there.
Yep, Michael Carter will run it there.
What would you do if you're a struggling quarterback, you're young, you're an offensive coordinator? What would you do to get Sam Howell going?
You know, this isn't too different than how they've started their other games. They're just really trying to not put too much on his plate. They want the game close in the 4th quarter, and that's really when they've unleashed him, you know, the first 2 weeks of the season. But clearly when you're down 14-0, you got to throw the ball a little bit.
We'll run it here with that big body, and he took a hard hit from the senior captain, Isang Bassi. It'll set up 3rd down immediately.
This Wake Forest defense is flying all over the place. Sam Howell tucks it, tried to pick up some yard, and Isang, boom! Big time hit in honor of Chris Berman being back on ESPN+.
Big 3rd down.
Swinging outside, incomplete for Daz Newsome. And another 3 and out for North Carolina. That's their 5th.
Mac Brown told us that he told his team, we're going to find out a lot about ourselves by about 10 o'clock on Friday night. Are we for real or are we for not? We've been underdogs in every game. They're the only team in the country to beat 2 top 30 teams in the first 2 weeks. Starting out a little sluggish here early. Sam Howell has to find a rhythm if they want it. And on the flip side, Wake Forest has been dominant.
And really, I think the problem is they've been in 3rd and very long.
Yeah.
And that's why they're 0 for 5 on 3rd down.
Kiernan punts away again. And a fair catch for Sage Surratt at the 15-yard line. Smallest Power 5 school in the country, Wake Forest. Beautiful campus here in Winston-Salem.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by Rambo Last Blood. The Legend Comes Home, in theaters September 20th.
Daniil Medvedev, Winston-Salem Open champion after he was facing Rafa Nadal the other night. John Isner has won the Winston-Salem Open as well, part of the U.S. Open Series. Congrats to Tony Breschke, the head coach of the 2018 men's team that won the national championship last year. Christian Beal-Smith takes it to the 21 for Wake Forest, already up 2 touchdowns.
What'd you say, Wake Forest, national champs in tennis?
2018 national titles. Tony Breschke with
and they're playing well tonight.
Fun fact, 5,200 undergrad students here at Wake Forest.
He said it going to break smallest Power 5 school in the country in terms of enrollment. There's Sage Surratt with a penalty marker thrown out to the 35-yard line. Made the grab in front of Dominique Ross, so we'll check the marker.
This Wake Forest offense is really settling in, it feels like. Really getting comfortable.
Holding. Defense, number 4. That penalty's declined. Results of the play. First down.
Trey Morrison, the cornerback, called for the hold on Surratt, negate the penalty and take the yardage.
And it's a really nice route release by Surratt. And we talked to his brother. We said, give us a scouting report on your little brother. And he said, listen, I don't think they should use him in the slot so much. I think he should be outside as the single receiver like he was right there. So a really nice scouting report by big brother. And a nice play by little brother.
I mean, he's been playing catch with Sage his entire life. Tonight, bragging rights are on the line in the Surratt family.
Hey, and you guys said this might be the last chance that they play against each other, but I think
you got a shot in the NFL.
Matt said it too. There's NFL potential for both of these guys.
That'd be pretty cool to see. Sage and Chaz squared off. It's Sage's crew on top 2 scorers. Timeout. Well, Sam Howell in North Carolina off to a tough start in this one. They've been relatively conservative early in games, and as Matt said, they unleashed Sam Howell in the 4th quarter, finding those game-winning touchdowns. De'Ami Brown had a big one. Then Bo Corrales, the go-ahead score against South Carolina. They did it again last week against Miami with that clutch grab late in the game by Daz Newsome. But so far, Molly, a struggling start as we saw in the first couple of games, too.
Backup quarterback Jace Ruder still warming up on the sidelines, and offensive coordinator Phil Longo grabbed both quarterbacks and says, it's time, you got to get it going. And Sam Howell looking defeated on the sidelines. A teammate said, you don't look like you're having fun out there.
They're playing catch with each other right now. That's the relationship they have in there, though. Although they're both very competitive, both want the starting role, they do pull for each other, which you don't always see, man.
Well, I was here this summer. I talked to Mac. They had not even announced the starting quarterback before the start of their preseason, and so that's how close this competition was. But, you know, I just really got to believe Sam Howell's going to pick it up. He had 2 drives of more than 90 yards against South Carolina. He was just been a slow starter.
They're going to have to, because this Wake Forest offense is starting to hum Adam Amin.
If they were to go with the other quarterback, Jace Ruder, I think it's because he's a better runner, and I just don't think that that would be the right decision right now.
Fresh set of downs for Wake Forest. Shot deep. Surratt got it. And he is in for the touchdown.
What a night for Sage Surratt. Started a little bit rough early. Had the jitters playing against the big brother. Got loose long early down the sideline. Now with a 51-yard touchdown with a perfectly thrown ball.
And it's a great call. They pump the bubble to the right. Kind of a stalk route. Go back like you're going to block him. And then you take off. Surratt with an excellent execution of what I would call a little bit of a trick play. Perfectly timed, perfectly called, perfectly executed. Big night by little brother.
Hey, little brother is having a big one. Brandy and Kevin Surratt have to be so happy for Sage to come back after that slow start. A little bit rough start for Sage, I think we would all agree. Now he got a big-time tutter. They finally okayed it there with the review. This Wake Forest offense, wide open right now. They got to stop the bleeding on the North Carolina defensive side of the ball. Nick Skipa here. His little sister told me to be nice to him. His last kick was a kickoff out of bounds. Can he tack on the 21st point? Can't tell from the angle we're watching.
I'm throwing my hands up, Pat. It's good, I promise. Sage Surratt, 4 grabs, 119 yards. His second 100-yard game already this season. Little brother getting it done. What a start for Jamie Newman. Already 3 touchdowns, 2 on the ground, and 1 51-yard strike to the redshirt sophomore Sage Surratt to put Wake Forest up 21-0. And now the North Carolina offense, which does not have a first down yet in this game, is going to try to dig out of a 3-touchdown hole. A little short kick here. Avoid a return potentially, at least a deep one. One of the up men in Garrett Walston has it. Break down the last score for me, Matty.
Well, I mentioned it, Warren Ruggiero. They make it look like it's this bubble, like the inside receiver is going to run a bubble, but the slot receiver, Surratt, runs up on the safety and has a stalk route. He's acting like he's going to block him and then, basically throws on the brakes and then hits the ignition, hits the gas, runs right by him. It's really just a scheme thing. You realize that the DBs are being a little bit too aggressive, and you take advantage of it. They called it at the perfect time, and it was well executed.
5th straight game for Surratt going back to last year with a touchdown reception. Sam Howell slings it out. Daz Newsome with a good grab. He gets hit hard, but holds on to the football. And there is an injured Tar Heel back at the 25-yard line as well. And this is becoming a little bit of a night of attrition. And it looks like the tackle, Jordan Tucker, making his 4th career start tonight. Charlie Heck was a little banged up at left tackle. They're without Nick Polino at center tonight, and now Tucker is down. We said Charlie Heck has been a little banged up. They're without Nick Polino, their center. Jordan Tucker goes limping towards the tent. Carl Tucker, the tight end, is out tonight as well. He's got a hamstring injury and did not travel. Joshua Azudu, a redshirt freshman, is into the game for Tucker right now. On 2nd down and short, Sam Howell gives North Carolina its first down of the night. And hello. The umpire went tumbling down.
And the crowd loves it. This is one of the most athletic plays we've seen tonight. It was by the umpire.
Danny Worrell is the umpire. A little somersault action. I like it.
Well done. Taking a shot.
Deep shot. Looking for De'Ami Brown, and just out of his reach. Nasir Greer in coverage against Brown.
Well, that was another sluggo, a slant and go, and Wake Forest didn't fall for it. But I got to believe, if I'm Sam Howell right now, I got to give my guy a chance to touch the ball. It's a pretty spiral. It's a good ball. It's deep. It's a good-looking ball. But you got to give your guys a chance to touch it.
I mean, you got to have a little understanding, though. Sam Howell just took out the umpires and jacked up.
A little emotionally scarred after the play.
Same play.
Double move. A pump and a toss. What a grab by Corrales.
Came out. You got to finish the catch. They
could not hold on to it at the 32, and he's a little bit slow to get up after the play.
Well, that was the same play that Wake Forest scored on out of a different formation. They pump the bubble. Everyone does that stock block. They're faking the stock block, and then they go deep. Different coverage, so it's a different kind of throw. Bo Corrales, 6'4", has an opportunity to come down with the ball.
And here we are, 3rd and long yet again, Adam. 21 zip on the road. What are you going to do, Samuel?
Quick throw, but a whistle blows the play dead.
Coach Clausen didn't like it. Timeout.
Charge timeout. Wake Forest.
Oh, North Carolina, never mind.
They're second.
That's all right.
30 seconds.
I mean, somebody called
the timeout. It was Mac Brown, his first. 11 minutes to play here in the half.
Well, I'll tell you why they called a timeout. They were getting a drop 8, rush 3. Not every play you call is good for that coverage, so they're probably saying, hey, let's get a better play call. We got to convert.
You see Clemson, #1 in the country, on the road Saturday night. The last time they were at the Carrier Dome 2 years ago. This was a freaky Friday the 13th as well. I remember this night, we were out in Cal, and Washington State went down. Before that, Kelly Bryant got hurt in that game. And Dino Babers and the Oranges, the new fast offense, pulled out one of the greatest upsets in Syracuse history. Eric Dungy, grungy Eric Dungy with 278 that night. Both of these head coaches will see #1 Clemson later on this season.
Syracuse didn't look too good against Maryland last week.
He's given up a lot of points, though. That's a 4-touchdown underdog against Clemson. Sam Howell running out of time again. Excellent coverage downfield by Wake Forest, and Boogie Basham closes it out.
Well, we mentioned all these NFL scouts here to see Boogie Basham rush the passer. He does it from the left. He does it from the right. He's got a lot of potential, but I'll tell you what, I know you got, when it's 3rd and long, that's what a pass rusher, a sack master, that's what they're looking for. That's what they're living for, especially at home with a good crowd.
3 sacks.
North Carolina's got to find a way to get it going.
Can't blame Sam Howell there. He tried to make the most of it. That coverage in the back, it's almost a secondary sack, isn't it? Great coverage. Big ball here.
I like the roller coaster up to the top, and then the disappointment right at the bottom.
Well, I mean, it's a 20-yard swing right there.
Yeah,
Adam,
it's a worse net. Take off 20 on the net. It's a 37-yard net punt. We call these a coverage sack sometimes because the coverage is so good downfield.
Well, Sam Howell, he's looking right. He has something underneath. He doesn't like it. I think guys are open. I think he's got to cut it loose. You know, I would say this about Sam Howell. He's young. We mentioned he's a true freshman. First true freshman to start a season opener for North Carolina. This is his 10th quarter of college football. So I understand that it's not going to go great. And Wake Forest is a pretty darn good team. But at some point, you got to start getting first downs. I think the way to do it for North Carolina is to not be in 3rd and 7+. They got to do better on 1st and 2nd down.
There's Wake Forest on 1st down with Kenneth Walker. That's a great 1st down run.
They just keep setting themselves up for success, never getting too behind on the chains. I mean, the Wake Forest offense is in a full hum right now. 10 minutes left in the 2nd quarter still.
Walker again, and he's got the 1st down past the 30-yard line. 3 impressive drives so far for Wake Forest. Granted, one of them started deep in North Carolina territory. The last 3 series, they got set up with that forced fumble and a couple of big strikes for touchdowns.
Up 3 scores, still up tempo as well. And now a big shot at him.
Scotty Washington, incomplete. Excellent job by Greg Ross, who gives up about 5 inches to 6'5" Scotty Washington.
That's a heck of a play by Greg Ross. And we talked to defensive coordinator Jay Bateman. I said, what scares you about Wake Forest? He's like, well, really nothing. We're ready to play. We're ready to play. I said, nothing scares you? And he was like, well, you know what? They got really tall receivers, you know. And listen, I was impressed with every single coach that we met with yesterday. Head coaches, coordinators. Really, you want to talk about a team that's well coached, both like on and off the field. But that's a heck of a play by Greg Ross, who's in for injured Patrice Renee, out for the season.
Mac Brown said his corners had to play tall before the game.
They tell me that sometimes too. I don't know how to do that. Jaquari Roberson is brought down. Miles Dorn, excellent penetration from the safety spot, bringing up 3rd down. Look at the heights of these Wake Forest pass catchers.
I mean, that's taller than most NFL teams. That's really something. And we talk about jump balls. I hate when people say it's a jump ball, say it's a 50-50 ball, because you're able to be a precision thrower on those throws. Jamie Newman's done a nice job. Sam Howell's done a nice job this season, but Jamie Newman's been more effective tonight and been effective to that guy right there, Sage Surratt.
They are not scared at all to throw it up. Whenever you got 7-foot-tall wide receivers, especially with Sage Surratt, who's really feeling himself right now. A 28-yard reception, contested ball, go up and get it. Shield the ball from the defender. I mean, what a play by Sage, but this is their offense.
And really, these defenders are not in bad position. That's not bad coverage by Trey Morrison.
Flag is thrown.
Sage almost had a gimme that right there. A little bit high and outside, almost a little one-handed grab there.
Holding, defense, number 4.
Defensive holding goes the call.
First down.
They're on the ropes right now, Adam.
Banged up, struggling offense in what has become a nice, hyped-up atmosphere on the road. First true road game for North Carolina. Remember, their opener against South Carolina was a neutral site game in Charlotte. They were home last weekend against Miami in that comeback win. They're coming into what started out as a little bit of a lighter environment with the early kick. It has really become a home field advantage tonight, even with all the Carolina blue in the crowd.
Hour-and-a-half drive. Going to make the trip. Feels as if they might have wasted some gas here early.
Nothing there for Walker. Good job up front by North Carolina's defense.
Wake Forest talked about how big of a game this was for their program. This is the first time in a long time they get to play the Big Four from North Carolina, Wake Forest. And it's something that Coach Clausen and the team were really emphasizing. Not only for recruiting, but for the program. It's a heck of a culture builder for them.
There's Surratt again. He might end up with the record for Wake Forest for the most receiving yards in the first half of a game. He's been outstanding so far.
Against your brother, too.
How about that?
Happy Thanksgiving, bro. Remember when I broke the record in the first half against you?
He's got the record.
And there you have it.
152 yards tonight for Surratt. There goes Newman. And Jamie Newman, who's run for 2 touchdowns already tonight, runs it into the red zone for a first down. Chris Givens, 9 years ago against Duke, had 145 yards receiving in the first half. Sage Surratt has 152 tonight to set the new first half record.
Which is really incredible because he started off the night with a big drop and then a fumble.
Walker, the cutback, and he'll work his way to the 11.
Still 7 minutes left in the second quarter.
And this is they could go up 4 scores right now with still a long way to go. Well, what a gut punch in this first half to Carolina. Wake Forest can score here.
And last week they were down 17-3 to Miami at the half, and they came back for the win. This one,
end zone, and incomplete. Good job by Miles Dorn to knock out Jaquari Roberson. Redshirt sophomore unable to put his feet down.
This is almost another touchdown. They kind of run out of real estate on the side.
Ooh, wait a minute.
Got a little bit of that foot in there. Maybe the entire foot wasn't down, but that would be interesting to take a second look at.
A lot closer than we thought at first glance.
Definitely.
I'm just so impressed with Jamie Newman. Not only has he run people over with the Beef Boys up front there, he's been slinging it around. And your wide receivers can really catch some emotion off of that when your quarterback has faith in them to go and get it.
Dancing around, firing past the sticks, staying on his feet, Surratt. Brought down about a yard shy of the line to gain by Storm Duck on the all-name team for sure, the true freshman tonight. And it's going to be 4th down and about a yard, this close to the end zone.
Mac Brown's down there yelling at that ref. I have no idea what he did.
Well, I think Mac Brown had something to do with talking that ref into not a very generous spot for Wake Forest. It looked like they had a little bit more yardage than that.
Do you like going for it here?
Heck yeah.
No, kick the field goal. You're up 21-zip. Let Nick Skipa get involved, but they haven't been stopped yet. Might as well give it a go.
Trying to run it with Walker. Needed the 5. Initial indication is that he's short.
I don't mind going for it, but why take Jamie Newman out of the backfield? Jamie Newman lined up out wide as a wide receiver. He's really your most physical power runner.
And it's a turnover on downs. North Carolina gets the stop.
This is what North Carolina needed, something like this. I'm not sure why you wouldn't just give the ball to Jamie Newman, who's been running through everything.
Yeah, I really don't like that. I've liked everything that Wake Forest has done tonight, but to have a true freshman, a guy that's maybe 200 pounds, running on a fourth and 1 short yardage. You got Jamie Newman. That's a huge stop.
Obviously, 4th and 1, you're going to put it in the Beef Boys' hands, but you would expect the quarterback who's been run over to make the play.
And looks like we have a new quarterback.
Jace Ruder, the redshirt freshman from Norton, Kansas, is in. This would be the 2nd career college appearance for Jace, who appeared in a game against Georgia Tech last year, but had to leave due to a left shoulder injury. And a penalty marker thrown on the opening snap for Reuter this season.
False start. Offense, number 75.
That's not going to help. Now, granted, it's only going to be a yard-and-a-half penalty or 3-yard penalty or so, but either way, it's going to set up first down and long. It's Joshua Izudu who's in for the injured Jordan Tucker.
New signal caller, false start. That's something that you almost expect, right, Matt? I mean,
I don't know. I mean, this is not the great start. You're in a tough situation. I've been a backup quarterback and coming in a situation like this. It's a great opportunity, but it's not a...
They said he's a runner, though, Matt.
There you go. You called it.
Huge run for Jace Reuter for some cushion, and for the first time tonight, we check in with Matt Berry in the studio.
Gentlemen, good evening. Coming up bottom of the hour, exclusively on the ACC Network. A.J. Dillon and Boston College get Kansas. Les Miles and his crew coming off a tough loss last week to Coastal Carolina. That over on the ACC Network.
You have Mac Brown returning here. You get Les Miles returning for Kansas this year. Justin Strnad makes the stop on Michael Carter. Second down coming up here.
Phil Longo, offense coordinator for the North Carolina Tar Heels, previously at Ole Miss and other places, said that Reuter is a more veteran feel. He's a better athlete at running. He just thought Sam could throw the ball a little bit better. We'll see if Reuter can continue to be a spark here. They need it, Matt.
Reuter rolling out, nothing there, and he'll toss it away. He is a Kansas native. Only threw 5 passes last year in that game before he got hurt, had to leave the game. Started last year at number 4 on the depth chart, had an opportunity as the number 2 guy with a bunch of injury issues. He got his chance after Nathan Elliott struggled. He's getting his chance tonight after Sam Howell struggled. It's on Jace Reuter right now, and a big third down and long coming up.
Another 3rd and 10, though. Advantage Wake Forest.
To the perimeter. Big hit on Javonte Williams, and he will get run out of bounds shy of the sticks. Ryan Smendo with the stop, boys.
This is an aggressive decision. Oh, they're going to punt. There was a little bit of a second thought there on the sideline. Thought they were potentially going to go for it here. Down 21 in the second quarter. But nice little spark there. They saw some movement, which they hadn't seen in the entire first quarter and a half here in the second quarter.
Well, I think a strength of the North Carolina offense are the running backs. You got Williams, Carter, Williams. That's a strength, but those guys have not gotten the opportunities to kind of run that rock and get them in 3rd and manageables. They got to get back to winning 1st and 2nd down.
I'm going to judge all punts based on Pat's noises.
Oh, let the ball roll there. Just let the ball roll. Help your guy out.
Down by Chapman after just 44 on the kick.
That's not bad. Let's not say just 44.
Coca-Cola invites you to share a Coke while tuning into #1 Clemson on the road at Syracuse tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern on ABC. Kirk Herbstreit, Maria Taylor, Sean McDonough will be honored at Syracuse tomorrow night, so he'll be on the call with those two. The last time Clemson lost in the regular season was that Friday the 13th game, mid-October against Syracuse. That was the last week in college football that we did not have a top 25 versus top 25 game. So everybody went into that week going, well, this isn't going to be a very fun week. There were like 7 upsets that weekend. So I'm hoping for a little bit more of the same this weekend. Bounce to the outside by Christian Beal-Smith. And he's close to the sticks. No Cade Carney so far in this game. Would be a 2nd straight week that he did not play, but Walker and Beal-Smith are doing a good job tonight.
And the tempo is a real thing, and that's 3 straight drives of 74 yards or more. Wake Forest has run 40 plays already tonight.
Ruggiero, offense coordinator, said they have about 6 different sets that they can run 700 different plays out of.
He may have been exaggerating, Pat.
And I might have got the number wrong. You get it.
Trying to push it with Beal-Smith. Good job by Trey Morrison coming up for the cornerback spot for the stop, and it'll set up 3rd and short.
And that's about the 5th corner blitz for Trey Morrison coming off that side. The ball's on the left hash. We mentioned Wake Forest with this slow kind of Clausen carry play action. and they're saying, hey, you know what? We're not waiting around for it. We're going to bring the heat. We're going to bring it off the corner.
Clausen carry. I didn't hear that from that. I think you're the first. Do you like it or no?
I don't know. I don't love it.
You don't love it. You like it, you don't love it.
Every meeting we were in yesterday, you were trying to ask them to name what they do, and you said, you know what? I'll do it.
And he came up with Clausen carry.
Put it on a shirt.
Jamie Newman. Let's see where the forward progress is ruled.
It's a big spot here for North Carolina's heart.
DJ Ford made the stop, and indeed it is short. A couple of good stops back-to-back by the North Carolina defense in short yardage.
Mac Brown getting a timeout in, too, saving some clock.
2.5 to go.
Well, Mac Brown preaches to his team. It is so important how you play in the last 5 minutes of the second quarter. And that's 2 big stops. Two big stops by the North Carolina defense, trying to pick up the slack for their offense.
Matt Berry's back in the studio. What do you got, bud? Who you hammering this week, McAfee?
Guaranteed to win you money, they say. Clemson, minus 28 in Syracuse. They don't forget what happened a couple years ago.
4 touchdown dogs. It's a little different this year with Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne, and that crew coming in to the Cuse.
Why are college punts so different than NFL punts? Why do they look different?
Well, they're kind of spread out like this because in the NFL, only 2 guys can leave the line of scrimmage before the ball is kicked. In college, everybody can go. You need to hang it still, though. This can spark something in a big return. Great coverage by Wake Forest.
Newsom chopped down past the 35-yard line. Tell me about All-State, my friend.
When I was in college, this thing started, and I'm happy it's still going on. This season, for every field goal and extra point made by participating universities, All-State will make a contribution to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, All-State. You're in good hands. You're the best.
The level of enunciation really goes up on those reads, which I love.
I've never read a book in my life, but an ad.
2 first downs, 7 punts. Now, I know McAfee from the 30,000-foot view loves this. North Carolina's offense does not love that number right now, and it is the second series for Jace Ruder at QB.
That's why it's team football, though. You got to lift people up. The defense is trying to do that to North Carolina. Jace Ruder in here had a little bit of a spark with that long run. Can they build some momentum here before half?
And they got to run the ball, and they got to run it on first down. This has been a dominating defense by the Demon Deacons. That's 4 Ds, but they need 4 runs in a row here. Get these guys going. It's the O-line's best friend. They're not listening. They're taking a shot.
Ruder scrambling out of the pocket, and he's brought down by Luke Masterson. The hybrid rover safety knocks him down in the open field for a loss.
Here we are yet again in 3rd and forever, Matt.
Well, this is exactly what they've been doing all night. They've been in 3rd and forever. That's why they're 0 for 7 on 3rd down. The average distance is 3rd and 9.
You got to respect Ruder trying to make a play there. You have to respect it. It's a second series of the year. But sometimes you just got to throw it away. I mean, I was an NFL quarterback 2 times.
You were the 3rd string emergency quarterback, Pat. That's not the same thing.
And when you got hurt, I was above you on the depth chart. That's neither here nor there. This offense needs to do something, but here we are on 3rd and 11 yet again for the North Carolina Tar Heels with Mac Brown leading the way.
Wake and North Carolina meeting here tonight, 107th time. This series goes back to 1888. It was played between Wake Forest out at Wake Forest, North Carolina, until they moved their campus across the state about 100 miles west to Winston-Salem. They will play another non-conference game in 2021. After all the conference realignment and expansion, these 2 teams were separated divisionally, so they don't protect those cross-division matchups because of the other protected rivalries. Jace Ruder on the run. I wonder if this is 4-down territory now. 1:40 to go here in this 4th quarter.
I think it might be, but you know, mentioned Dave Clausen loves this game, loves the fact that these 2 teams get to play each other. And after tonight, I bet you he feels even stronger about that. This has been a dominating night by this Demon Deacon defense.
Good alliteration there.
I didn't even do it on purpose that time. I did it on purpose the first time, but...
Well, it was delightful to hear you talk about the dominating defense from the Demon Deacons.
Well, timeout called here. While we have a moment, Mac Brown wanted to send out a message to some special people down to the Bahamas as well.
Hurricane Dorian just devastated the Bahamas. Sally and I have had a home down there for a number of years, and The people of the Bahamas are unbelievable. They're giving, they're caring. So please, everybody, get your thoughts and prayers for that country and all of the citizens that live there. And if you can, give your time, give your money, anything to help get these people back on their feet. We love you guys and good luck.
Surratt in motion.
Great message from Mac Brown.
Surratt with the fair catch at the 19-yard line. But you can help people affected by Hurricane Dorian. Your donation will support Red Cross preparation, response, and recovery efforts in the United States and in the Bahamas. You can go to www.redcross.org/ESPN or call 1-800-RED-CROSS to donate now. You heard Mac and his wife Sally's message. They've had a home in the Bahamas for several years. No longer they have that home, but they wanted to make sure that they sent out a special message. And again, if you can help out with your time, your dollars, please do.
I think that's what's incredible about the time we live in right now. People helping people. I hope everybody gets on the horn and donates there. Nothing but T's and P's for the Bahamas. But right now, Wake Forest has a chance to do that. Old Bill Belichick 2-for-1. They get the ball in the second half. Steal points now, get the ball back in the second half, really put this thing away, although they're already up 3 scores.
A lot of coaches call that the double score.
Ooh.
Double score. You got the ball at the end of the half, and you get the ball coming out of the second half.
Demon Deacon double score.
Delightful. Deacon, by the way, is a man that wears a hat. Here in Winston-Salem, he just so happens to be an evil one.
Their mascot is nightmare fuel, frankly.
You know what? You can't blame him here. About to take a knee and go take it into half. Coach Clausen has to feel good about the program that he's built, what he says the right way. Red-shirting kids, building them up in the strength and conditioning room. 23 or 24 redshirt seniors on the team, 7 of them playing. Coach Clausen's going into half with a big smile on his face. I'm not sure what they teach at his etiquette school in this type of situation. We'll talk about that more in the second half. But what a dominant first half here for Coach Clausen in Winston-Salem.
Well done. He looked confident yesterday. He did, didn't he? He had his legs crossed. He looked comfortable, showing off his new building, his new athletic facilities. He said, I love this team. I love this program. Going up against the legend and Mac Brown. What a first half.
Shout out Molly.
Let's go to Matt Berry for the halftime report. We're not going to make you wait. Kickoff of the second half. And a fair catch out to the 25-yard line comes Wake Forest, up 21-0. Adam Amin, Matt Hasselbeck, Pat McAfee back in the booth. Molly McGrath in a moment on the field. You're really impressed by Wake Forest, understandably so.
In every way, only 1 penalty, but how about 21 points, over 300 yards in total offense, and Jamie Newman. Dave Clausen said it to us yesterday. I believe in this guy. What a performance.
North Carolina, what are you thinking right now?
Mac Brown's a Hall of Famer. Kids love him. Since the day he got there, they loved him. Let's see what happens in the halftime, because this could get ugly or this could become a dogfight with the North Carolina Tar Heels. They got to do something early.
21-0 start for Wake Forest, and Jamie Newman sets up shop at the 25-yard line. He had 2 rushing touchdowns in the first half. A little power ahead for maybe a yard. Moments ago, Molly was with Mac Brown.
Coach, what went into your decision to make the switch at quarterback in the first half?
We made no first downs. We were bad. Give Wake Forest credit. So when things aren't working, that's the first thing you go. We'll come back with Sam the second half.
All right, what adjustments do you need to make defensively?
Well, defensively, we actually did some good things. We are losing the edge, so they're bouncing their slow zone running play outside. We're not getting any pressure on the quarterback, so we got to do both of those. But we did stop them on a 3rd and short and a 4th and short, and that's the only thing that's keeping us in the game.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Molly.
Max saw some positives there from his defense. You can't help it, because there towards the end, they got a couple stops. That offense, though, they got to do something. And if this 3rd down stop is something, it could ignite the North Carolina Tar Heels. And on the flip side, if they pick it up.
Long pass outside, incomplete. Good job to run to the football by Miles Dorn. And they get a 3-and-out stop to begin the second half.
Well, you said it, Pat. A lot of energy on this defense coming out. These guys look renewed, energized, and a big play at the moment of truth by Miles Dorn. He's one of their leaders back there. It's strong safety, free safety, kind of does it all.
This is one of those games where you wish you were in the locker room at halftime with North Carolina to hear what Mack Brown had to say.
And you heard him say some of it to Molly. Hey, we got to set the edge. You cannot stop the run if you don't set the edge.
Daz Newsome is back to return. Dom Maggio boots it away. Fair catch, 25-yard line. Let's go back down to the field and Molly McGrath.
Well, Adam, Sam Howell back at quarterback this half for North Carolina. I asked Mack Brown what his message was to Howell in the locker room. He said, go be you. You're not playing like yourself. Play the way that we know you can play. So Mack showing his confidence in his freshman quarterback by putting him back out there, Adam.
Similar message delivered by Mack Brown's old quarterback, Colt McCoy. McCoy started as a freshman at Texas for Mack Brown. Before the season began, he had Colt McCoy call Sam Howell. And then when he asked Sam, hey, what did Colt say? The response was, he told me to be me, be myself. And that was what Molly just reported back to us as Howell starts this drive with a handoff to Michael Carter.
I think it's smart to get the ball into the running back's hands. Establish a run early so then Sam can just make plays when he has to. I've never been a quarterback that's been benched and put back out there. That has to be quite a mental test. But they say this young kid is always even-keeled. We'll find out. He's 18, turning 19 Monday. This is a big second half for him.
Back to the ground game and Carter. And a third down and short situation.
This is okay. This is exactly what you're looking for. If your play caller has 3rd and 1s all day, this is the only 3rd and short that they've had the entire night. The running backs are a huge strength on your team. I get it that you're 2-0 and you've got a freshman quarterback with a lot of potential, but you're 0 for 8 on 3rd down tonight for a reason. You're not winning 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to win short yardage.
Handoff again, this time Javonte Williams stacked up right near the 35-yard line. Nasir Greer, who had that forced fumble in the first half, came up to stop him just shy of the sticks.
Nasir Greer has had an excellent night tonight as a tackler. These safeties, they got to kind of be hybrids. When you're playing a spread team, you know, you got to be a guy that can cover somebody in man off the slot. Then all of a sudden you're playing a 2 tight end team, you're like a linebacker. I'll tell you, in short yardage, you got to play like a linebacker. He did a nice job.
4th and a foot and a half. This is everything that you are as a team. Down 3 scores. Can we get going?
Javonte Williams has the first down. Able to move it out to the 40-yard line.
Those are the moments in the offseason training that you think about. 4th and short. What are we going to do? Backs against the wall. They've come out here in the second half, kept the ball on the ground, and made the big first down here to get going.
Well, Pat, you said it. I'd like to be in the locker room at halftime to hear what Mack said to them. Whatever he said seems to be working.
Quick 3 and out. First down.
Might have been the best sequence all night for North Carolina. Howell dumps it off to Walston, the tight end. He gets upended by Greer. Picks up about 4 on first down. Remember, no Carl Tucker tonight. The senior is out at tight end with a hamstring injury, so Walston right there makes the 2nd catch of his career.
Yeah, and Walston's more of a receiving tight end. They've got Vargas, who's probably more of a blocker. Having 2 tight ends who can do both is important. I would say both these guys can do both, but if you're looking to throw the ball, 84 is going to be the guy you got to key on.
Well, when he lines up in that position, he's either going to go out for a route or he's going to block.
Thanks, Pat.
Hashtag analyst. Penalty marker thrown.
Snap infraction. Offense, number 68. 5-yard penalty.
That was on the center,
Second
Brian
down.
Anderson.
And we've mentioned the injuries to this North Carolina team. Seems like it's not a lot of injuries, but it's a lot of injuries to the wrong guys.
Yeah, important spots, right?
And luckily for UNC, Brian Anderson's a guy that they believe in, that can play. He's a leader, he's vocal. That's what you're looking for, the center position. But that's the 2nd false start or illegal procedure, pre-snap penalty that they've had tonight.
I think it's a 3rd, but the clap was an advantage for them against Miami. Tonight's been getting them a little bit.
Looking deep. Again, good coverage downfield once again by this Wake Forest secondary.
Well, they tried another double move, meaning they're pretending to have a short pass and then they're going deep. And really, Wake Forest just isn't taking it. This is another sluggo, slant and go. Wake Forest is like, we're not buying it.
The type of players that come and play at Wake Forest, Coach Clausen talked about it. Disciplined players. And they've been proving that all night. That quarterback, Sam Howell, has been sitting in there for a long time with incredible coverage. Third and forever yet again, Matt.
Just a three-man rush. They set up the screen, and that gets blown up by Nasir Greer. Found Daz Newsome and shut down the drive.
This is as dominating a performance as I've ever seen a defense have. Nasir Greer with another big hit. He caused the first fumble that led to the first touchdown. A huge stop on a short yardage play. This guy's having a great night. And not even a starter. It's the starters who are playing well. It's the backups that are playing well.
It's something you can build on, though. They got a little first down. They had a 3 and out. The defense is going to have to pick them up yet again.
Surratt, a little bobble there, but he corrals it.
Great
Somehow
coverage.
Stays on his feet. Helmet goes flying.
Absolute incredible coverage, Adam.
They keep him right at the 20-yard line. Kiernan on the blast. Pat, what are we watching?
Good question, Adam. You are watching the ACC on ESPN. Felt good about it.
I liked it.
I loved it.
8 minimum, and just only because it was the first go. 8 out of 10. I don't want to give him the highest grade out of the game.
I was almost saying that this is a non-conference.
That's true. This is a non-conference ACC game. Does not count towards the ACC standings. Jamie Newman under pressure, lofting it up for Scotty Washington. Incomplete.
An aggressive play call for Wake Forest.
I like it, though. Instead of going into a shell because you're up 3 points, you had a 3 and out on the first series. I like that you start going. Although, they are very hot. Jamie Newman is very hot throwing to Surratt tonight. I mean, 7 of 9 when throwing to the little brother of Chaz Surratt. All others 3 of 10. Doesn't matter who's getting it as long as you're getting it.
Jamie Newman has gotten it done on the ground tonight. Pounds ahead for about 8 yards to set up third down and short.
Jamie Newman has not been stopped whenever he puts his head down and just runs.
He's a big man.
Big man, athletic man. The Beef Boys are moving for him. 12 rushes, 53 yards, 2 tutters. That's got to feel good.
One through the air as well to Surratt. He's got time to throw to Surratt, and Sage holds on and lunges ahead for a couple more. He's got the first down for Wake Forest after a record-setting first half.
We mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Adam, you asked about option routes. This is a situation where the receiver's pretending to go deep on a go route and just stops. Nice third down conversion.
Incomplete that time. Thrown to the outside for Brandon Chapman, the tight end.
And again, you know, it's really a smart play. Win on third down, stay ahead of the chains. You hear Pat say all the time, stay on schedule. What does that mean? That means, hey, we're at 1st and 10. Give me 2nd and 10 or less. Don't give me 2nd and 15. That's what's happened to North Carolina tonight. That has not been the case for Wake Forest.
We'll swing it out. Beal Smith run down by Ross, and it'll set up third down. Well, Tyson Fury wants the rematch with the heavyweight champ Deontay Wilder. He's got to get past the big Swede, Otto Wallin, first. Tomorrow, 12-round fight on ESPN Plus in English and Spanish at 11 o'clock Eastern Time from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. ESPNplus.com/top-rank. Download the ESPN app if you're watching on your mobile device. Newman across the 40 to the 44, and be shy of the sticks coming up with fourth down.
It was good coverage by North Carolina. Coverage sack. Jamie Newman does his job to just get what he can and give Dave Clausen a tough decision. You going to punt here? You going to go for it? He's going to punt.
Yep, Don Maggio's on his way out.
Good start for this North Carolina defense. Yes, they gave up a catch to Sage there. Yes, they gave up a first down, but they're getting off the field, getting the ball back in Sam Howell's hands. Will they be able to do anything with it? It's literally been the question the entire evening. The Italian stallion, Paisan, Maggio. Trying to flip the field here, pin him deep. And it's a beauty.
It's going to go over the head of Groves. Unable to save it.
I mean, that is just heartbreaking. Incredible effort there by the Wake Forest gunner, number 21. Wish they could have stopped it. Sam Howell has the ball at the 20. 7 minutes left in the third quarter. Down 3 scores. What do they got? We're going to see.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by the Lexus ES, a product of mastery. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
2 NCAA national championships and then went on to knock out 7 more majors. The great Arnold Palmer, who passed away in 2016. He would have turned 90 this past Tuesday. Right now, Wake Forest with a 3-touchdown lead. A scary, scary Demon Deacon getting the crowd lit up before this particular drive.
He's a Demon Deacon.
Pat's laughing, otherwise he'd be very scared. Michael Carter trying to get some yardage going. Only 3 first downs for North Carolina's offense on 37 snaps. They've mustered less than 100 yards so far. They haven't crossed the 50 yet.
That's really unbelievable. And it's hard to know if it's Wake Forest playing so great or North Carolina playing poorly, or maybe a combination of both.
Another handoff for Carter. 3rd down coming up. Let's check in with Matt Berry in the studio.
Guys, let's go to Boston College. Take a look at one of the AT&T best performances from the Kansas-BC game. 8 plays, 78-yard drive. Carter Stanley to Jack Luavasa. How about Rock Chalk hanging in there first quarter, 10-7 on the ACC network.
Wake Forest's next ACC game will be against Matt Hasselbeck's Boston College Eagles. In a couple of weeks, they'll go on the road. 0 for 10 on 3rd down, North Carolina tonight. Boogie Basham getting after Sam Howell. It's ruled as an incomplete pass, and they're 0 for 11 on 3rd down.
And he is a great name, and he is their best pass rusher. And this is just a relentless sack. This is not an on-schedule sack. He just fights. Sam Howell gets outside the pocket. Boogie Basham doesn't slow down. There's a saying in football, it's tips and overthrows. Got to get those. That ball's hanging in the air right there. Guys got to go get that ball. But Boogie Basham on a line stunt, what a play.
Another saying is if you punt the ball 10 times, probably not great news.
Classic saying.
A lot of people say it.
It's been a busy night for Ben Kiernan. Double-digit punts.
Beautiful.
Good hang time to force the fair catch at the 29 for Sage Surratt. It's been an aggressive Wake Forest defense all night long. 5 sacks over the course of the night. Boogie Basham forcing another tough 3rd down pass.
Get it.
That is a Pat McAfee special right there, baby. That unmistakable theme music means Boomer and TJ are back. That's on ESPN Plus starting this week. Jamie Newman hit as he throws. Dangerous pass. Miles Dorn's out there. And it is an interception for North Carolina.
This is the type of thing that can turn it all around. Contested balls from Jamie Newman was what they've been living by. And now is it what they're going to be dying from? Just threw it up there. Big-time play by Dorn.
Well, you mentioned it. It was the pressure on Jamie Newman that makes him kind of floated up there. Jonathan Smith with the pressure. It's a nice catch, but sort of a gimme. Kind of like a punt, though, Pat.
Hey, you know what they say? See Toddy, catch the ones they throw you. He did that. Could this turn the North Carolina Tar Heels night around?
See Toddy. C-T-T-O-T-T-Y?
Well, C Toddy is obviously C-T-O-T-T-Y. Catch the ones they throw you. He did just that. Sam Howell has an opportunity now.
Off a play-action fake. Has time again. With nothing downfield, so we'll dump it down for Javonte Williams. And he gets brought down by Jasir Taylor.
That's great coverage in the back end. Sam Howell had all day to throw, and nobody was open.
We talked with Lyle Hemphill, and you get this sense that this is a defense that he was starting to gain confidence in going back to the end of last year. They had a great game against NC State that you saw, very good against Duke, held Memphis scoreless in the bowl game for a good chunk of that game. And now their defense continues to pitch the shutout. Manny Walker off the edge, making the stop there on Williams.
Coaches always say, put the fire out after a turnover. You trust the defense will put the fire out. All the momentum could have swung there, but here we are at a 3rd and 10 yet again. This Wake Forest defense has really been stepping up to the task.
0 for 11 on 3rd down is North Carolina.
That's a wild stat.
0 for 11. I'll give you another wild stat. They have not crossed the 50-yard line.
It's not going to win you a lot of games.
Blitz coming from Wake Forest. Howell evades the pressure. He needs the 43, and he brings North Carolina into Wake Forest territory for the first time, but all the way back at the 30-yard line, there is a penalty marker thrown. A 22-yard run for Sam Howell. It would be a career long pending the penalty.
Offense, number 73. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Third down.
Marcus McKeithen.
Just add to the heartache, though. 3rd and long, they pick it up. Everything might be going their way. Holding, bring that thing back.
They called 73. Let's say 73, maybe even 68. Yep, you saw it right. That was on the secondary action from McKeithen.
I don't like judging officials because nobody here is a fan of theirs in the crowd. They're just hoping they don't mess anything up. Holding can be called on every play.
Yeah, it really could. It's been that kind of night for North Carolina.
Yeah.
Just when you get a break, you get a setback.
Now it's 3rd down and 20. 8 back in coverage. Howell's going to throw deep down the middle, and he's got a man for a first down in Daz Newsome.
I was just going to say there aren't a lot of plays to call on 3rd and 20. That's about all you got. You go deep down the middle, deep outside, and nobody likes to see a draw or a screen. What a play, a 32-yard gain. Gets him a conversion, gets him over the 50-yard line. They got to get going.
Back to the ground, Michael Carter evading tackles, and back-to-back first downs for North Carolina for the first time tonight.
Now we go. Their first couple games, this is what happened. The North Carolina team got hot late, and they became unstoppable. It looks as if the Wake Forest defense might be a little bit tired. They got them on their heels. Can they continue to press in their first time in Wake Forest territory?
Howell to throw again. Looking deep. De'Ami Brown. Incomplete. Good coverage outside by Jasir Taylor, and Suleiman Kamara brought some pressure on Howell that time.
Brought some pressure, but again, good coverage downfield. I'd really like to see these running backs. You know, if North Carolina could do a better job of just running the ball, they're doing a decent job blocking for it. They got to stick to the run. I know it's 21-0, but that's three scores, and you got time.
Super necessary to keep feeding the running backs. Take the pressure off of Sam Howell. Let him keep building momentum here a little bit. Just had a big completion on a 3rd and 20.
Now there's a nice strike there, close to the sticks for Emery Simmons. First career catch for the true freshman from Parkton, North Carolina. Picks up about 9. Dave Clawson went out of his way to compliment all 3 running backs, the law firm of Williams, and Carter for North Carolina. This is Javonte Williams. He's going to get hit shy of the sticks, though, by Deion Bergen. Big 95 in the middle there. And it'll set up 4th down and short.
That's really too bad. You got 3rd and kind of a short one. Now you got 4th and, you know, almost looks like 2.
Huge play on 4th down. North Carolina trying to stay in it. Keep it on the ground, and Williams banging his way to the 20 for a first down.
The law firm of Williams, and Carter, I'm sure they talked to each other at halftime and said, hey, if we're going to mount anything, we're going to have to start running tough. This was a big-time 4th and 1 here. They're in enemy territory. They have to get points. That was a necessity. Good run by Williams to pick up the yardage.
Now it's Carter back in the game. Excellent job up front for Wake Forest. It was Rondell Bothroyd, the redshirt freshman, who made the initial contact and spilled it out.
This Wake Forest team is so disciplined. So disciplined. The total yards in the first half, 71 for North Carolina. Second half, 76 already. Has to feel good, but this Wake Forest defense has been stingy tonight.
Best drive, longest drive of the game for the Heels, the 10th play of this series. Good blitz pickup by Carter. Howell, back of the end zone and incomplete. He was looking for Rontavious Groves.
Thanks for your service to the women and men standing in the corner over there. Almost got hit with the ball. Thought he had him, though. I thought he had him there potentially.
Still jawing away with Jasir Taylor.
Another 3rd and 10. This one's in the red zone, but can't say it enough. The 3rd down defense of Wake Forest tonight has been outstanding.
They have a football 101 at Wake with Coach Clausen. All these situations are gone over relentlessly. It's been paying off thus far. There we go.
Snap
Another one.
infraction. Offense, number 68. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Yeah, Brian Anderson, the center again. Pre-snap penalty. This is only his 5th career appearance at the college level. Again, he's in for the injured Nick Polino, who did have surgery this week. He's hoping to be back later on this year, a lower body injury against Miami.
You might be in 4-down territory here.
I think you have to be, right,
sometimes,
at this point?
Well, sometimes as the quarterback here, so what that means to you is you got to get half of it back.
Okay.
You got to get half of it at least.
On 3rd and 15. Howe, under pressure, down he goes, Justin Strnad.
Well, with the 6th sack tonight, it's Justin Strnad. Incredible player, leader. Every coach talked about it. The players talk about it. And on campus, we said, hey, who's the best guy in the building? Who's got the brightest smile? Who's a leader? Who's a leader, an emotional, just pick-me-up guy? Justin Strnad. What a huge play.
Now we have a 49.5-yard attempt here by Noah Ruggles, who Mac Brown said doesn't have a lot of faith, but he has a big leg.
Can he deliver the first Carolina points of the night? It is good.
What a ball by Noah Ruggles. 49.5 yards to get on the board. Good for UNC to get some points. Obviously, went forward, went backward, but looks like a little bit of momentum here for UNC. 21-3 in Winston-Salem.
Noah Ruggles missed from 49 against Miami last week, but Mac Brown was able to send him out there for a 49-yarder this week, and he delivered the first points in the first true road game of the season for Mac Brown and the Tar Heels. Still a 3-score lead for Wake Forest. Christian Beal-Smith will send it out to the 25-yard line.
It's a good one. My family's at that game, Adam.
Yep, they're checking it out tonight.
What? They told me they were at home watching me, but then I just found out.
They were just like, no, that's definitely not happening.
How about it?
There's Kenneth Walker on first down. Great run for Walker. Out across the 40-yard line. He's got the ability, we saw it last week, to break open some big ones. He picks up 20.
Well, we talked about it. This is a program where they redshirt freshmen. You better be special if you're a true freshman on the field. This was a special run. Kenneth Walker making guys miss, protecting the football.
It'd be great to be that athletic.
Kid ran for 3,500 yards at Arlington High School in Tennessee. Had a big breakout last week. And right now, his offense, Dave Clausen in control. A 21-3 lead in this non-conference clash between longtime ACC and conference rivals. 107th meeting tonight. It's been mostly Wake Forest. 18-point advantage, trying to get to 3-0 tonight. Mac Brown said one of the biggest problems for North Carolina the last 2 years as he watched them from afar was the fourth quarter. They really struggled the last 2 years in the fourth quarter. They've been excellent in the fourth quarter in their first 2 games. A fresh set of downs for Wake Forest from their own 45 to start. And Kenneth Walker out of the gates in the fourth quarter gets hit by Chaz Surratt. Let's go down to Molly McGrath.
Well, Adam, Sam Howell told me their team message is the team that is the toughest, the longest wins. And every day at the end of practice, they practice this. They huddle up, put 4 fingers to the sky, blast music, watch highlight videos. And during those final drills, they turn everything up a notch. And these sidelines have been injected with energy. And the message is chip away.
How important is the defense right now, Maddie?
Well, think about it. Think about the job that this defense has done. 6 days ago, they were on the field for 75 plays. They lost Strobridge. They lost Patrice Rene.
Nothing much up the middle that time. And Aaron Crawford stacks up Walker. 3rd down coming.
And for the last 6 drives, they've held Wake scoreless. They got the ball. They got the turnover. The offense has to pick it up. At some point, this North Carolina defense is either going to break or have to score themselves.
Tamon Fox needs to pin his ear back and make a play. They have a saying with the North Carolina Tar Heels football team, be the one. Be the one. Fourth quarter can make this a game if you're the one who makes a big play here on the North Carolina defensive side of the ball.
Movement before the play, and it's whistled dead.
Don't be that one.
False start. Offense, number 71.
Oh,
5-yard penalty.
Nope.
Third
It was
down.
against Nathan Gilliam, so that'll set Wake Forest back 5 yards on third down and long. Just a second penalty tonight. Don't forget ACCN.com. You can check for providers in your area. If you don't see yours listed, contact them to demand that they carry the ACC network. Matt's brother is in Charlottesville tomorrow night. Important game for Willie Taggart to try to get back on track. They've had a blown game against Boise State, nearly lost against ULM last week. Now they got to go into a tough Charlottesville against number 25 Virginia tomorrow night on the ACC network. Keep it conservative here with Walker, and North Carolina's defense makes a stop out of the gate here in the fourth quarter. Fourth down coming up for Wake Forest. Pitt at Penn State coming up tomorrow at noon Eastern on ABC. You'll get a chance to see Kenny Pickett on the road. NC State against Pat's Boys, West Virginia. Clemson, Syracuse in a rematch at the Carrier Dome from 2 years ago. And then, as you mentioned, on the ACC network, Florida State and UVA.
I'll tell you, I was watching on ESPNU all day today, those throwback games. Florida State versus Virginia. Danny Cannell slinging it around. Chris Long out there. Tiki Barber. Those are some
of the greats in Virginia history you're rattling off right there.
Virginia's got a shot this year.
They're the only team to never win the Coastal Division. It's been 6 different Coastal Division champions in the last 6 years, including North Carolina in 2015 when they won 11 games that season. Carolina down 18. They've got the ball at the 20 when you come back. Houston, Washington State coming up. And then after that, we'll have Bucci and Michael Eaves talking about Otto Boline trying to upset Tyson Fury, the ranked college football teams that are on upset alert on this weekend, and wild card impact games in the Major League Baseball race. Sports Center after Houston and Wazoo on ESPN and the ESPN app. Sam Howell back to work, finding Michael Carter out of the backfield for North Carolina. And he muscles ahead, dragging defenders for a first down to the 31-yard line.
For how much Wake Forest has dominated this game, the energy on the sideline during that last time out for the UNC Tar Heels was something that was really interesting to see. They could be defeated, they could be down, but it feels as if they might mount something special here. And this all revolves around the culture that Mack Brown had to turn around quickly. He had everybody on the team go in front of everybody else and tell their whole story. They have a lot of trust in each other. They have a lot of trust in the coaches. Now it's time for them to make a comeback here on what has been a pretty dead night for their offense.
Back to the ground game, and Carter gets hit hard by Travion Red. That'll set up second down.
That was a hit by Trey Red. And Pat, you mentioned that sideline. I got to believe if you look at all the Carolina blue, they're really lined up right behind that bench. You know, you got guys on the sidelines. You got guys on the sidelines waving towels, standing on the sidelines. It's like they believe. It's like they don't know that they're down 3 scores. And sometimes you'll hear coaches on the sideline saying, hey, listen, it's 0-0, 1 score at a time. There's no such thing as a play that scores 2 touchdowns. We've got to get 1.
Deep shot. Howell connects. He's got De'Ami Brown. Into the Wake Forest red zone, a big play.
And just like that, that mentality, that mindset, not giving up, we're not out of this, creates a big play here in the fourth quarter when they've been looking for one desperately. A 55-yard pitch and catch to potentially get them back in this thing. You just need 1 score. Then you need a stop. Then you need another. That mindset of we're not dead yet is one that can radiate through an entire organization, and that starts with the trust of the players and the coaches.
The injured Wake Forest player is number 4, Amari Henderson.
Looks like we got a Wake Forest player. I believe that's Amari Henderson. It is down on the sideline. Timeout called. We'll step aside. Man. Holgerson or Leach?
Me. Hogerson left West Virginia. I'm all on board the Leach train. But I love this guy more than anybody. This guy has a wife. She's refusing to stand around him while he is motivating an entire organization from the crowd. But this is exactly what we're talking about. UNC has this fresh set of life, it feels like.
Wow. Oh, what a shot. He took a big hit from Surratt, who's laid the wood on a couple of Tar Heels tonight. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
Well, nice job by the quarterback. Hal here avoiding Schmenda, the blitzer. Really nice, but at that point, I'd like to see him have his eyes downfield, not take the big hit.
Remember, Mac Brown said we had to teach him to slide. He took too many hits against South Carolina. He was better against Miami last week.
Yeah, well, you're not back at Sun Valley.
Some trickery on the reverse. The moves by Newsom and great rally to the ball by Wake Forest.
This Wake Forest defense is swarming.
Have been all night, Matt. They have been all night. UNC popped off that big play, but Wake came back and made a big stop there. 3rd and 7. Here we go. 4th quarter, 9:51 left, Matt.
Miscommunication out by Wake Forest right now. They're having a hard time getting lined up.
Seems like Phil Longo saw that over on the sideline, adjusted.
Isaiah Asisima, by the way, is in for the injured Amari Henderson. Molly McGrath says Henderson is okay. Michael Carter on the perimeter. Beats the man he needs to beat. And he's in for the first Carolina touchdown of the night.
They had numbers on that left side. You saw the entire offense of North Carolina look to the left. Offensive coordinator Phil made the adjustment, throw the swing route out to the side. Receivers get a good block, and in he goes, Mr. Brown.
And this is really essentially a running play. You're getting the ball outside to one of your fastest running backs. And we talked about it before. What is the difference between just a kind of a normal player springing somebody for a touchdown? It's wide receivers blocking downfield.
Michael Carter, 2 receptions, 22 yards, and a tutty right there. Big score for the UNC Tar Heels. Extra point is good. Here we go. Now we're playing football. 21-10.
11-point game. Michael Carter, the speedster, his first touchdown of the season. Pass TD and a rush TD in 13 straight games from De'Ara King. We'll see him on Thursday night in New Orleans at Tulane next week. Christian Beal-Smith on the return for Wake. And brought down across the 25-yard line. Tomorrow night, Dabo Swinney, Travis Etienne, Trevor Lawrence, T. Higgins, Justin Ross, that electric Clemson offense on the road against Dino Babers and the Syracuse Orange at the Carrier Dome. Saturday Night Football at 7:30 Eastern on ABC. And a look at our PlayStation rankings for week 3 of the college football season.
Yeah, you mentioned the Clemson offense. What about the Clemson defense?
Great last week against A&M.
I mean, they had 4 defensive linemen drafted to the NFL. 3 were first-rounders, and then they just reload.
And LSU has found an offense down there in the Bayou. That was electric to watch the other night. Now, Wake Forest hasn't really had to answer yet all night, but here they go.
Kenneth Walker, a good run. Okay, up a first down to the 38-yard line.
And this is what happens when you have 24 redshirt seniors on the team. To be able to handle this situation where it looked like UNC was potentially stealing all of the momentum there with a big-time score here in the 4th quarter. Jamie Newman goes out there, they hand the ball off just like they always do and keep moving the ball forward. It's a veteran team, man.
A yard on that play for Walker.
It really is, and I just really got to credit North Carolina's defense again. That's 7 drives in a row where they've held Wake Forest scoreless. And really, that's the reason that it feels like in this stadium that North Carolina has a chance to get back in this game. Because for a while, at 21-0, it didn't feel that way.
Newman into a tight window. It is caught at the 42-yard line in traffic. We'll set up 3rd down as Sage Surratt adds to his career night tonight. Huge 3rd down play coming up. It feels like the game's hanging in the balance for the Tar Heels.
You can feel this North Carolina. You can hear that crowd coming alive, too. You see the sidelines of North Carolina. Matt Brown has these guys believing the game is on the line on this 3rd down in the 4th quarter.
Big.
Blitz coming. Newman taking a shot. They're challenging Morrison, trying to get Surratt on a deep ball. No flag on the play. It'll be 4th down for Wake Forest.
This is really, really good coverage by Trey Morrison, and actually an incredible throw. Sage Surratt on the go route. This is called a back shoulder throw. You want it at the shoulder pad or higher, where the receiver turns away from the defender. You either get the catch or you get the pass interference call. That's a great throw, great defense, good play.
I love Wake Forest doing that, though. I love them going for it, but it didn't work out, so now North Carolina's going to get the ball back.
Maggio with a good boot. But it will be let go by Groves. Smart play. Out to the 20 comes North Carolina as we get a look back at our Buick Drive recap. Last series for North Carolina, getting the touchdown, getting back into the game. What did you like from the offense in the second half, man?
I like that it involved the running backs. I like that a lot. And then obviously a chunk play like the one they had down the middle. Usually you say don't throw it late down the middle, and then getting into the red zone, getting the score. Got to come away with touchdowns. The Carolina fans love it.
Especially this guy. I love that guy as well. The mental toughness of this 18-year-old Sam Howell is really something to be desired, man. I mean, to have that first half that he had where he got pulled and come back in here and make this a game. The Wake Forest defense, though, has been showing up all night. They need a stop here. This momentum train can't keep flowing to the Tar Heels if you're a Wake Forest Demon Deacon fan.
We mentioned Nasir Greer earlier. What a night he has had. Luke Masterson, kind of the leader of that secondary back there. Former punter in high school, Pat, but really kind of a hybrid guy. Is he a safety, as a linebacker? Nasir Greer caused a fumble tonight. Big stuff.
Howell under pressure, delivers a low throw on target. Good for a first down to De'Ami Brown.
See Trey Rucker with a little pressure here. Kind of a delayed blitz, but he gets to Sam Howell. It's kind of like you're staring down the barrel of a gun and you got to stand in there and be tough and deliver the strike. He did it very, very well.
Draw play, Michael Carter. Kicks it to the outside for a big gain. Inside the 30, hurtling inside the 20-yard line.
UNC fan base is coming alive. Carter, who just had the touchdown on the last series, delayed handoff, pops one down the left sideline.
We mentioned, Pat, this is one of their faster players, the faster running backs. Outside runner, 50-yard gain. They were bringing pressure. What's good against pressure? A draw. There they just come with a four-man rush. Perfect timing for the play call. Great run.
Back to Williams on the ground. Not much there. With penetration by Ja'Cory Johns, redshirt freshman.
And this has been Wake Forest's night. 3.5 quarters, Wake Forest was dominant. Now UNC's looking alive, much like their first 2 weeks, Adam. Much like their first 2 weeks. We're in for one here in Winston-Salem.
Trying to rewrite the script that has gotten them 2 victories in the first 2 weeks. Howell keeps it and fires. It is caught. It is a touchdown for De'Ami Brown. We got a ball game with 6 minutes to go.
They go with a little play action, RPO. What a great throw. The former baseball player goes sidearm. We talked about this kid in the fourth quarter, previous games, bringing his team back. He's done it again tonight. Going for the 2-point conversion, ice in his veins. This is fun to watch, guys.
To try to make it a field goal game here. And a penalty marker is thrown. Might have had the play clock winding down.
Game.
And indeed, it's a delay of game.
5-yard penalty. Retry.
Matt Brown is not happy. He is all the way on the numbers, letting the refs know, I don't like what the clock just did to us. Because he's got that celebration, and they reset the clock, I think, immediately. Been caught up on Sam Howell quickly.
Well, he's saying, I believe, Coach, I think what Matt's so upset about is that they were holding them to give Wake Forest a chance
to substitute
and get off the field.
When the offense substitutes, you have to give the defense an opportunity to counter. That means the play clock continues to go. As you mentioned, Pat, with that extra little celebration, play clock started, they ran out of time, and Mac Brown upset after that sequence. They're going to keep the offense on the field to go for 2 from 8 yards out to make it a field goal game. Howell pumps, fires, end zone. It's caught by Garrett Walston, and it's a 3-point game.
Ooh, wow. Wow. We talked about Walston earlier in the night. He's more of a receiving tight end. That is a huge 2-point conversion. This stadium is alive with Carolina fans. What a game. We talked about the fourth quarter heroics by Sam Howell. He's benched earlier in the game. They bring it back in the second half. He brings his team back. They believe in him. What a game.
Fourth quarter has been the story for North Carolina in its first 2 games. It's becoming a story tonight, outscoring Wake Forest 15-0. Fair catch inside the 25, so it'll be out at the 25. And we got a good one brewing here. This game does not count in the ACC standings if you're just joining us. This was scheduled as a non-conference matchup between conference foes. Jamie Newman, who's had a big night tonight on the ground with 2 touchdowns, takes it out to the 32-yard line. A lot of energy on the Carolina side. What do you got, Molly McGrath?
Yeah, Adam, it's completely changed after those 2 touchdowns. Players are saying, it's here. This is what we've been waiting for. We have done this before. With our backs against the wall, we know how to win, so they're trying to ride this momentum.
Newman again wrapped up, but powers ahead for the first down to the 36-yard line.
In the first half, Jamie Newman was running over defenders. He's going to have to do that. They have to turn this momentum around in Wake Forest's favor. 3.5 quarters, they were dominant right now. Situational football is going to be big here going down the stretch.
I've been really impressed with the poise of Jamie Newman. He's done it as a runner, as a thrower. They're bringing corner blitzes on him. He's saying, okay, you're not baiting me into, you're not trapping me, protecting the football.
Down he goes as Tyrone Hopper picks up the sack, his first of the season, and it's second down.
And this North Carolina defense, we've mentioned it, 8 straight scoreless drives. The first one started out with a 4th down stop in the red zone, but this is their first sack tonight. And I gotta say, they believe the energy is up. And that's half of what it is in defense. It's just effort.
On second and long, Newman looking for Washington, reaching down for the catch. What a play. Down to the 43.
What an answer. UNC gets their first sack. UNC seems to have all the momentum. Then Jamie Newman delivers a dime to the ACC wide receiver of the week last week. Scotty Washington bends down low to pick it up. They needed that in a big way. This is fixing to be a classic ending here.
27-yard strike to the 6'5" redshirt senior from Washington, D.C.
This is what you come to an ACC school for, then. Friday night prime time, fourth quarter, 1-score game.
Newman keeps it. Slipping tackles and a good run on first down to the 36. Clock continues to move closer to 4 minutes remaining.
And Jamie Newman recognizes Woolfolk, number 11, the safety, blitzing off the edge, decides not to hand the ball off, keep the ball. Again, his poise, his decision-making, his accuracy with the football, the way he's protected the football, that's why they played so well offensively tonight, because of number 12.
Redshirt junior out of Graham, North Carolina. Just his 7th career start. Handoff for Christian Beal-Smith, and he runs right into Jeremiah Gemmel, the sophomore. Third down coming up, and a big one. First meeting in 4 years. And it's been a good one tonight. 3rd down and 2 coming up. Newman stays on his feet. Just needs 2 yards and picks it up for the first down.
What a player. Even switched the ball in his hands and find his balance, pick up a massive first down when his team needs it. Jamie Newman has been nothing short of incredibly impressive tonight.
This is really good defense by North Carolina, and this is just heart, effort, desire. Jamie Newman, again, protecting the football, understanding how important this first down is, almost willing his team to a first down.
Wake Forest big on tempo, but in no hurry right now. Trying to milk as much of the clock as possible. Both teams still have their full complement of timeouts with 2.5 minutes to go. Boy, Newman got rid of it at the very last second to Christian Beal-Smith. That option read fooled everybody on that play. 14 yards for Christian Beal-Smith.
It's almost magical the way that Jamie Newman can just disguise whether or not he's going to give the ball up. Everybody thought Newman still had the ball, and then bang, Beal-Smith pops out of it with the ball.
And now North Carolina has to start using its timeouts, and they use one here with 2:15 remaining.
And that's what it's going to become right now. It's going to become this clock game. Having all 3 timeouts is going to help.
They use their first here, so still 2 opportunities to stop the clock. You stop them with a field goal here, that's good. It's still a 6-point game. It's still a 1-score game. A touchdown here for Wake Forest, it feels like becomes insurmountable.
We have to know and understand that Coach Clausen stresses situational football. Football 101 is a class that they do every single year. This is a moment that Jamie Newman, redshirt junior, he's been around for 4 years, this program. Now you just have to have faith that the players will execute, that the players will make a play for the program, and that they'll want to go and put this game away for the Demon Deacons.
And it's gotten so loud in here, the Wake Forest offense is saying, hey, can you guys be quiet, please? And for the North Carolina defense, you know, one of their best players, Jason Strobridge, is out tonight. Who's going to be the one? Who's going to be the one to step up and make a play for Carolina's defense?
Wildcat here. It is Kenneth Walker trying to stretch to the edge. He wants to stay in bounds if possible, and he does. That would force North Carolina to use another timeout potentially. And indeed, Mack Brown will use it here, their second. 15-0, North Carolina has outscored Wake Forest here in the 4th quarter. 18-0 here in the second half. The big strike to De'Ami Brown, a big chunk play of 50-plus, helped set up the touchdown. Brown was able to score it. The 2-point conversion to Walston made it a 3-point game, but right now Wake Forest with an opportunity to seal the deal. It was a sluggish first 3 quarters, to say the least, for North Carolina. The story of the first 3 weeks of the season, the same story played out in the 4th, but Wake Forest still in control.
Yeah, sluggish doesn't even do it justice. Your quarterback was so bad in the first half, you couldn't get a converted third down. They benched him, they pull him, they bring him out in the 3rd quarter. Credit to them. A lot of coaches wouldn't do that. And Sam Howell has answered. He's come back and played outstanding.
And Wake Forest put it away. Straight up the gut with Beal-Smith. Down to the 15-yard line. Still over 2 minutes to go. And the final timeout for Mack Brown's crew used here. So now, if you get the stop on 3rd down, you can still milk 40 more seconds off the clock. Get it down to about 1:20-ish. Force a field goal try. Let's assume there's a make just for the sake of the situation. Still just a 6-point game at that point.
The Wake's doing all the right things. This is called 4-minute offense. Pat mentioned situational football. 10 plays, 60 yards, and 4 minutes and 8 seconds. Situational football. People talk about 2-minute all the time. 2-minute offense, 2-minute defense. Just as important as that is 4-minute offense. That's when you have a lead, you have the ball, and you are no longer really playing the opponent. You are playing the clock. You want to control that clock. You just want to bleed it out and not turn the ball back over.
And a first down here essentially ends the game.
Definitely ends the game. No timeouts. Kneel that thing out. Oh, Kenneth Walker staying in bounds, by the way. Fresh
Smart
making
move.
a big-time situational decision there. That's the Wake Forest way, though.
Back to the ground game. Beal-Smith gets stopped, trying to hold on to that football. Clock will continue to move. Wake Forest can use a timeout when the play clock gets milked all the way down if they wish.
thinking as a kicker here, at least he got tackled right in the middle of the field. He was kind of lunging left. They moved him back to the middle of the field. Nick Skiba could potentially knock one home here, put him up 6 with about 1:20 left.
My guess is they'll milk it all the way down, so about 1:13 or so on the clock when they can take a timeout, or should take a timeout.
And Adam, North Carolina blocked 2 kicks last week. So you talk about effort and not giving up and not taking plays off and being the one to make a play. That counts on field goal block just the same.
Now, one of those blockers is out. That was Jason Strobridge, who's one of their best kick blockers. He is not playing tonight. You see Nick Skiba is about to come out for the field goal try. Pat, you mentioned it. It was a hilarious moment for us. Pretty tough for this kid last year against Notre Dame. He didn't go out onto the field, kind of a viral moment. He missed 2 field goals in that game against Notre Dame. He has not missed a field goal since. As consistent as they come, needs to deliver here to put Wake Forest up a touchdown.
The mental toughness of Nick Skiba is next level. Honestly, I didn't have it when I was his age. That's why I'm so impressed with him. It really is the Wake Forest way, though. The way Coach Clawson wants his players to play has trickled in to even the kicker. To professional, just kind of even-keeled. Now he knows it's his time to step up for his team late in the 4th quarter. This is a big kick for him, snapper and holder, Mr. Maggio.
Hey, and last week, Zach Gill, number 90, 6'5", defensive tackle right in the middle, had the block.
He's there on the line. 32-yard try to go up by 6. Sophomore from Clover, South Carolina. From the middle of the field. And Nick Skiba delivers again, 15 in a row.
I cannot stress enough how big of a kick that is for Nick Skiba, for Wake Forest, for the entire game. But now, 1:09 left, no timeouts, down 6, 1-score game. What will UNC do with it?
Well, I'll tell you what might happen. Sam Howell might get the ball. And we're talking about a guy in the 4th quarter tonight who's 5 for 6 with 106 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a 2-point conversion. And he's just a freshman. This is his 3rd game. So overall in the 4th quarter, he's 15 for 19, 275 yards, and 5 touchdowns. This kid, we said it in the open, 4th quarter is when he has played his best. He will have his chance to do what he did in the first 2 games. Tonight, he's got that chance once again.
Bo Corrales caught the go-ahead touchdown against South Carolina in the 4th quarter. Last week, it was Daz Newsome with a minute to go against Miami, hauling it in from Sam Howell. That's how North Carolina started off 2-0 in Mack Brown's return. Wake Forest trying to get to 3-0 as well. They're on a 4-game win streak going back to last year. This game does not count in the ACC standings, but I bet you there's a lot of folks in black and gold and Tar Heel blue that are happy that these 2 longtime rivals are squaring off once again. And we've been treated to a heck of a game tonight. Nick Skiba will kick away. Michael Carter back to return. Out to the 25-yard line will come North Carolina's offense, needing 75 yards to tie the game, maybe win it. Mack Brown said there were a lot of issues in the 4th quarter, a lot of issues in tight games. But even Dave Clawson, the Wake Forest coach, went out of his way to say, I was impressed with the fight that North Carolina showed last year. In tight games, 2-8 over the last 2 seasons, 2-0 this year. On the other side, Dave Clawson, 15-11 at Wake Forest in 1-score games. 75 yards to tie it. Let's go.
What a moment for Sam Howell here, Matt Hasselbeck.
He's going to throw on 1st down. Scrambling out, smart play, incomplete, clock stops. 63 seconds remain.
I'm impressed with the poise of Sam Howell. There was an opportunity to force it there. They try to go with that inside fade that we talked about earlier in the game. It's great versus man coverage. It's terrible versus zone coverage. He got zone coverage. He had the poise and the patience to throw it away. He's got no timeouts. But this is his element, the 4th quarter.
8 back in coverage for Wake Forest. Howell fires to the out route, caught by Newsome, and he steps out of bounds to stop the clock. It's a 1st down. It would have stopped to reset the chains. Instead, it stops, and it won't start again until the snap.
And I really believe that this 2-minute offense kind of fits what North Carolina is anyway. Offensive coordinator Phil Longo, they go fast. They've got this hair-on-fire tempo anyway.
Three-man rush once again. Howell over the middle, and it's incomplete. They were looking for Daz Newsome again that time, and Justin Strnad, the linebacker, moving back in coverage.
Well, this is good coverage once again by Wake Forest. This is 2-minute defense, but Justin Strnad, he's done it all. The question is, can these guys who are great tacklers, great blitzers, can they cover guys on the slot man coverage? That was great coverage.
2nd down and 10.
Friday night prime time.
Howell stepping up. Trying to run to the sidelines, but he's caught up to by Boogie Basham. The clock continues to move with 45 seconds remaining.
Boogie Basham's been everywhere tonight. You like to see the effort. They're rushing 3. It's hard to get a pass rush with just 3 guys, but they're getting it.
Howell, quick throw. It was deflected back to him, and he takes off. He got close to the sticks. It was deflected by Boogie Basham. They'll mark it short of the line to gain, so the clock continues to move.
Still going. The clock is still rolling here. Need to pick it up. Need a half a yard here.
They can't spike it. It's 4th down. They need the yard, and then they need to spike. It's a run play. Big hole. Michael Carter should get out of bounds if he can. Clock continues to move.
It's over.
Down to triple zeros, and it's over.
Wow. Oh, my.
Let's wait here. Mac Brown telling the officials.
The refs are sprinting.
The refs are headed back towards the tunnel.
They're sprinting.
And Mac Brown is running down the sideline. No timeouts. You had to get the 1st down. You could have given yourself up because the clock would have stopped for a moment on 1st down.
They held him up.
They held him up.
Football 101 has paid off for Coach Clausen. The young team with North Carolina just got outsmarted by the vets of Wake Forest.
And it's hard for a running back to exactly know. This isn't basketball where you just look up at the shot clock. It's hard to know exactly how much time is on the clock, but I gotta believe getting out of bounds was the right thing to do there.
Well,
situational defense. Talk about 2-minute offense. How about 2-minute defense? This is the 2nd time this season that 2-minute defense has won a game for Wake Forest.
Coach Clausen has got to feel good with the way his team performed tonight. Situationally, fundamentally, put this thing in slow motion. They held him in. Look, he's holding him in.
Stepped out with maybe a second left.
Yeah.
And I think you saw Mac Brown put his finger up. I think he was trying to say 1 second, 1 second. We have one more play. You could certainly make an argument for that there. Hard as an official, I know, because in the process of blowing the whistle, you're thinking time is going to continue to run. The clock operator continued to have that clock run. There was no whistle.
Sam Howell can definitely take a shot from there as well.
If it's 1 second left, it's a completely different finish to this game potentially.
Oh, wow.
What a finish. My goodness.
I mean, Wake Forest is in a full celebration right now. The refs are already in their cars on the way home. And all we have is a question about, is there a second still left on the clock? Congrats to Coach Clausen's team, though. Showing up early, making some big plays, getting a win. Mac Brown's team showed resilience at the end there. But, man, we were set up for a nail-biter there at the end.
Younger brother gets the best of big brother tonight. Jack Kramer and William Dixon are the 2 men in the replay booth. It is an ACC crew. Again, this game does not count in the ACC standings.
So is this just done now? Yeah? Can't review that?
I mean, the officials have already taken off. I'd be curious to see what the process of this is like. You can certainly review clock moments, especially when it's a line to gain involved, the 1st down. So we're being told, and this is important, until the officials signal on the field for the clock to stop, the clock will not stop from the operator. So
pandemonium!
What a job by Dave Clausen.
Yep.
Yeah, what a game tonight by both of these organizations.
Awesome. 24-18, the final for Pat, Matt, Molly. I'm Adam.